Black Channel. No matter what happens this Tuesday, Democrats are going to be asking themselves, where did we go wrong? I've got a few ideas. The Black Channel is live. Unapologetic, unadulterated, and absolutely uncompromising. Greetings, brothers and sisters from around the world, and welcome back to the home, the haven, the stronghold, the everlasting superfortress of intelligent black thought. We are the Black Media, and this is the Black Channel. And I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, the voice of Black America, the Black Authority, broadcasting to you live from the only historically black college university of higher education and learning in the cosmos. You are, of course, welcome to join us. And join us you shall, because on tonight's program here, we're going to have a little bit of introspection here before election night. We're going to have a little bit of introspection here. And what we're going to do is going to ask ourselves a simple question. Where did the Democrats go wrong? Where did they go wrong? Because right now, they're taking a look across the board. Right now, they're taking a look at their fortunes. Right now, they're taking a look at where they are, and this was not the game plan. All the folks who thought they were doing a victory lap in 2020, I said then that was a horrific sign because Biden should have really been able to beat Trump like a drum and only won by 48,000 votes. I warned people then that that was a horrific sign because when the Democrats were dominant under Barack Obama, it didn't look like this. We know what it looks like when you're dominant, and it didn't look like this. So the most recent example of why they are in trouble here, I couldn't think of a better one. Couldn't think of a better one than a recent appearance by none other than Cardi B. Now, by the way, this was posted on Twitter, on Kamala Harris's Twitter, just yesterday, which is really kind of telling.
Hey guys, so I'm here in Wisconsin and I'm here with the one and only, the Vice President, Kamala Harris.
Hey everybody. Okay, get out and vote and go to iwillvote.com to know where and when you should vote.
Yes, and y'all know if I'm endorsing it, it's because I believe in it. So y'all better go and vote, because please, we can't be messed up for the next 4 years. Please vote. Please vote for our kids.
So, Beyonce, Meg Thee Stallion, Jermaine Dupri, Cardi B, most everybody dodging an indictment is like, okay, we need to get Kamala back up in there. I'm like, okay, it's in your best interest. Go ahead and do that. But there's a problem here. And it's a problem of vision and strategy. Let me explain. Now, I know what you all really want to hear about. This is what you really want to hear about. They sat up here and had a public appearance. They brought out Cardi B playing one of her hit, or should we say crash songs. You couldn't F with me if you wanted to. First words you are greeted by. Such a class act Kamala Harris is. What a class act. Now, first of all, before we get into deep off into this, I just wanted to make an observation that, this looks terribly familiar. Where have I seen this before? Damn! There you go. I'm like, okay, I've seen this before. Yeah, I've seen this before. Last time it was in black, and I'm like, okay, looking like Betty Boop. Here comes Cardi B, and I'm like, welcome to the BBL election. Welcome to the BBL campaign of 2024. So I'm just like, apparently you can't be on stage for Kamala Harris if you haven't visited Dr. Miami recently. So, yeah, that's a thing now. That's happening. So, glad I couldn't help but notice some parallels. Just a week apart, we got some parallels. So, for some strange reason, I don't think it's accidental. So, Cardi B was on stage. There was a bit of a technical issue. Seems to happen a lot at Kamala Harris rallies.
What's up, Milwaukee?
Such a soft, feminine voice. Why, who couldn't be serenaded by that?
How you guys doing?
Now, she was just pointing at the teleprompter to say the teleprompter's not working. That was that pointing she just did. She pointed, and then you saw her look off to the side. She was trying to get their attention to say, hey, I'm supposed to start my speech. The teleprompter's not working. Now, ain't she supposed to be a rapper and know how to freestyle? They shut down the teleprompter and she was dead in the water.
Milwaukee! How you guys doing?
I feel like Anton Chigurh in No Country for Old Men. You've already said that. You already said that. We heard you the first time. Now you're back in. You already said that.
I'm nervous. I'm excited.
You should be nervous. The teleprompter's broken. You don't have anybody to write the song. Write the speech for you.
What?
Yeah, you don't have anybody to write the speech for you. Kind of hard to do this.
What's up, y'all?
You already said that. You said that. This is like your third time saying this. The teleprompter's broken. How many times are you going to say, what's up, y'all? Hello, Milwaukee. How y'all feeling? What's going on? You said that.
1 second, guys. 1 second.
1 second, me ass. Ma'am, they already know their teleprompter's not working. They're over there panicking, trying to figure out what to do because they paid all this money to get you up there. And it ain't working, and you can't speak extemporaneously. Look it up. You can't ad lib on your own. So they're like, oh, hell, well, this is all kinds of wrong. And they know that if they don't give you something to say soon, you gonna just sit up here and start busting your booty out and clapping your butt cheeks. Like when Kai Cenat had Ice Spice on his YouTube channel. He told her to freestyle. She just turns her butt to the camera and starts twerking. So they're all kinds of worried about what you'll do with no script and no words to speak. It's like, okay, she only knows two things, rapping and stripping, and she can't rap right now. So this is going to be a bad way to end the election week. She is looking around for help. And it's not her fault that this part happened, but I'm just saying, you should be ready for that. It's not her fault that this happened, but this just shows you how enthusiastic a supporter she is. So it's not her fault the teleprompter's broke, but boy, it got bad and just kept going.
Okay. So I don't take lightly the call. Sorry, guys. I'm a little nervous. Guys. I've been waiting for this moment this whole life.
She's looking around. Where the hell are y'all to help me back there? So it's just, I'm a little nervous, y'all. You're an international performer now. You were fighting chicks on cable TV. You're nervous? Come on. And I know this is a very awkward position for her to be in, so I'm not going to beat her up for that. I'm just saying, yeah, this was a hell of a political debut.
Life. I need patience over here. Patience, where are you, girl? I need patience over here.
This is the cringe moment here. This is when you realize, oh, this wasn't part of the script. This wasn't part of the speech. This is the moment where everybody realizes, okay, the train has officially left the tracks. She was sent out there to freestyle, that look on her face, and you feel sorry for her. You take a look at that look on her face right there. This look right here. This is the definition of cringe. And you feel sorry for her because it's like, oh, can't nobody help you. It's like she got set up. She got set up for a freestyle. Here, go host a cipher. And that's all she could do. Bad look, bad look.
Okay. So I don't take lightly the call. Sorry, guys, I'm a little nervous.
I'm a little nervous, guys. I've been waiting for this moment this whole life, my whole life. I need patience over here. Patience, where are you, girl? I need patience over here. Hold on. How you guys doing tonight?
You said that already. You said it 4 times. Oh, okay, never mind. But by the way, you said that already.
How you guys doing tonight? Are we ready to make history? Are we ready to make history?
This is what happens when a rapper tries to be their own hype man.
Auntie, chill.
This is what happens when a rapper attempts to be their own hype man. This is why you have to have a professional like Flavor Flav or somebody. You got to have one of them so you can sit over there and just act like he taking it over. So this is what happens when a rapper has to be their own hype man for something here. Now, by the way, this will not be the only thing you all hear tonight, but for those of you who watch or know about it, yes, I'm aware. Just showing everyone that, by the way, when you hear people talking about the speech, this is the part they talk about. But there are the other parts that they don't talk about. And we'll get to those.
Are we ready to change these 4 years? No. Are we ready to change the next 8 years? Because we're going to make sure we have Kamala Harris in office for 8 years.
So she was actually getting her footing under her when they walked out there with the cell phone. So
thank you. All right. Vice President Kamala Harris, thank you for having me.
All righty. So then she breaks out into her speech. So if you want to know what everybody was talking about, it's like, oh, it was terrible, it was awful. And like I say, she hit some growing pains there. So yeah, she just figured she just has to walk the BBL out there without stumbling, and you ought to be okay. That was what she thought. The mission was simple. Escort your BBL out there and don't trip over your own BBL. Don't trip over your own BBL and you can go from there. And things got rough right after that. Now, as you know, I always deep dive into these things. Most of you can't stand to watch or listening to this stuff, and I understand. But it's my function to take care of that for you. And there were some things in there that I thought were worth hearing, as always. So I want you to hear a couple of things in particular. And it puts it in a light here when I talked about tonight's program subject. Where did the Democrats go wrong? Let's go ahead and jump forward here a little bit. By the way, fair use, Kamala Harris and all the rest of her apparatchiks, fair use. Here's Cardi B warning everyone here about the evils of Donald Trump's policies.
I don't play that. People like Donald Trump don't believe women deserve rights. And when those rights are taken away, they are nowhere to be found. When a mother's going through postpartum, he's not there to hold her hands. When a child is in foster care or in a shelter because their mother is not mentally stable or financially stable to take care of them, they're not there.
Stick a pin in that statement you just heard. And I know a bunch of y'all are sitting there shooting your eyes to the left when you heard her say that, by the way, but stick a pin in that one. I assure you, we'll come back for it. Just stick a pin in it.
The people outside planning, they're not there. They're all gone.
Let me back that up so you all can hear that whole sentence there. And by the way, Kamala Harris can't run from this because they just showed you Kamala and her crew wrote this speech for Cardi. Cardi did not write this herself. She didn't freestyle this herself. She didn't ad-lib this herself. This came from the Kamala Harris campaign, what she's saying. Okay, let's see if she can close the deal.
When a child is in foster care or in a shelter because their mother is not mentally stable or financially stable to take care of them, they're not there. The people outside planning, they're not there. They're all gone. Those people outside Planned Parenthood, screaming at women's faces, they don't be there when women go through stuff. They don't.
Can you imagine this being your baby mama? What? Can you imagine being married to this?
Nigga, please.
Think about this for a few moments. Oh, could you imagine if you had to live under the roof with this as either a boyfriend, husband, or children? Could you imagine this being there every day? Oh, man.
And everything is possible. Shout out to the single moms out there, but it's hard.
She's just giving a rundown of every possible dysfunction. Kind of hard to cheer back there, folks, ain't it?
Trump says he's going to protect women whether they like it or not. Well, if his definition of protection is not the freedom of choice, if his definition of protection is making sure our daughters have fewer rights than our mothers, then I don't want it! I don't want it.
Let me play that one more time here.
Of protection is not the freedom of choice. If his definition of protection is making sure our daughters have fewer rights than our mothers, then I don't want it!
From that outburst, it just reminded me of something. I'm like, wait a minute, didn't we just talk about this?
To hold her hands. When a child is in foster care or in a shelter because their mother is not mentally stable or financially
because their mother is not mentally stable.
Then I
don't want it! Yeah, I figured we'd come back to that earlier soundbite. I figured we would be coming back to that. And I just couldn't help but notice we got a little bit down the road and oh, wait a minute, this sounds frighteningly familiar. Do tell. Give us more details, man. We need more details about that unstable mother thing. Just asking.
If his definition of protection is making sure our daughters have fewer rights than our mothers, then I don't want it!
Now I want to play this so you all see what happens next.
I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't want it. We all knew Trump was a hustler. But hustling women, and I'm a hustler too, yeah.
Damn. Kamala, this is your damn spokesperson up here talking.
And deal with it, nigga.
By the way, hey Kamala, this is what happens when you allow her to ad-lib. You let her sit up here and improvise on her own. By the way, hey Kamala, she just gave a big shout out to your opponent right there from the stage. Yeah, she went off script. So that's why I wanted to play that for you all together. So you see, she go from screaming about Trump to talking about, yeah, I'm a hustler too. So, yeah, hey, Kamala, by the way.
Want it. I don't want it. I don't want it. We all knew Trump was a hustler. But hustling women, and I'm a hustler too, yeah. But hustling women out of their rights to their body is nasty work. Hustling Americans out of their hard-earned money by selling Trump watches, Trump sneakers, and Trump Bibles. By the way, the watches is $100,000.
Okay, well, maybe he should sell some Trump BBLs.
Auntie, chill.
Maybe she would approve of that a little bit better here, so... There was that. Then there's this.
And today he's hustling you with the, buy my sneakers. Tomorrow is going to be your healthcare rights. He's going to take it away from you. He's going to snatch it.
Such an eloquent, articulate speaker, by the way. Such a level. How could you not be persuaded by this soaring oratory, by this convincing, compelling spokesperson? How could any of you not possibly now be swayed after hearing this? And they went to tremendous pains to get Cardi B here. They went, this is probably the second biggest thing they did to get Beyonce. And Cardi spoke way longer, by the way. Cardi spoke way longer than Beyonce did. So and then she went to the White House or wherever to go pose with Kamala Harris. So, I mean, they went to 5 times the trouble for Cardi B. And this is what they got for their money.
Donald Trump talks about how he has a concept of a plan, but America, the only concept of a plan he has is a plan to hustle you. Yeah. Because we know what he's really setting us for. He's selling more than watches and sneakers. He's selling us bigotry, misogyny, division, chaos, and confusion. He wants us to hate each other.
How could you all not possibly be persuaded by such a feminine, level-headed, conscious, temperate individual speaking to you from the microphone? How could you all possibly not be swayed by what you just heard there? What more could she do to be a compelling spokesperson? I don't know. Y'all, this reminds me of, this goes down in history with some of the greatest speeches ever. JFK and ask not what your country can do for you. Dr. King on the Washington Mall. This goes down with all those speeches. This is right up there with those. Can't you tell? People, the media said that it was correct for them to run Howard Dean out of politics for screaming one time. Kamala Harris went out of her way to bring Cardi B here, and this is what they got for their trouble. This is their spokesperson. So I wanted you all to hear what the rest of the story, because you might have seen the beginning of it, but did you actually hear the whole speech? Now, I want to give you a different perspective on this. The perspective that others will not give you. Here is the problem with bringing Cardi B out. Not just for this, but for anything. Kamala Harris's crew and her people did this to get attention. They did this because Trump, whether you like him or not, Trump is a showman. He knows show business. He knows television. He knows marketing himself. He's had to do it in the roughest marketing environment on the planet, New York City. And he had to do it without his father. Fred Trump wasn't running the show when Donald got there. Donald had to make it on his own. I mean, he had to at least get the ball moving on his own. And whether you like him or not, he mastered doing it in his own way. He was viable at it, whether you like him or whether you don't. That's immaterial. Fact, 2 + 2 = 4. So he decided to do what no presidential candidate has ever done. He decided to start trolling his opponent. So he didn't just make negative comments that Kamala Harris claims she worked for McDonald's and never did. Donald Trump goes to damn me McDonald's and you've got footage of him serving people at the drive-through window. He took over the news cycle. That's been his strategy now for the last 2 weeks, is to dominate the news cycle, whether it's, quote, positive or negative. You're only talking about one candidate. That's the strategy he's using. The press is talking about, oh, it's negative, negative. He's like, I'm dominating the cycle. People don't even know there's two candidates anymore. There's only one person on their mind. So you're either going to vote for Trump or vote for whatever. So this is what you do in ratings on television. This is what you do when you're trying to rent out the most expensive apartments in New York City, the most expensive penthouses. You got to dominate the advertising environment. I've been through New York City many times. It's the home of tall, wide billboards. Anybody who's driven across the BQE, Brooklyn Queens Expressway in New York City, you know, there was that billboard years ago from Lyft. It was a whole paragraph. I took pictures of it, by the way. Lyft had a billboard on the BQE. When you're getting on the BQE, it was a whole paragraph. And it said, hey, you know, traffic can be rough sometimes. When you're sitting out here, you're in your car, you have nothing to do, things are barely moving, you can spend your time doing other things. We should know. That's why we have Lyft. It could have made this commute a lot easier for you. I'm serious. What I'm saying right now is what was on the billboard. It was just this big, long paragraph. And you realize that, yeah, traffic is coming to a stop, or it's so slow, you literally can put up a paragraph on a billboard and you could read the whole thing in New York traffic. Then when you got to cross the BQE, when you get back over the bridge, they had the big, tall Apple billboards. In New York City, y'all know that in New York, you're on the sides of buildings, they big, tall Apple billboards in New York. And they got them in LA, as a matter of fact, too. But New York has got a bunch of those. And what I'm saying is that everybody's fighting to be seen. You have to fight at a tremendous level to be seen. And Trump wasn't a television star, but he had to figure out how to become one. And he learned it, and he succeeded at a very high level. So when he showed up at McDonald's, he actually looked like your old retired uncle working the drive-through window at McDonald's, moving slow as hell. But that was it. And he was talking to the press through the window, and the bottom line is, that's it. Nobody was talking about Kamala Harris anymore. Everybody was talking about, wow, this is, it doesn't matter if you think it's genius or not. It's entertaining. It's something you want to see Trump at that window. When you think about the two candidates last week, you weren't looking to go see anything from Kamala Harris. You were looking to go see Trump at McDonald's. Just so you could see what the hell. You're like, did he really do this? Let me go see what the hell this is. Even if you don't like him, you still want to go see it. That's dominating the news cycle. Then he went to Madison Square Garden, comedians or not, dominating the cycle again. Joe Rogan, dominating it again. And then the garbage truck thing. And by the way, you all would be well served to go look that story up. There's actually a rather fascinating story behind it. One of his campaign people called a guy in Wisconsin, just a guy in Wisconsin that they knew, or one of the people on his campaign knew. That guy he didn't have it, but he contacted another fellow up in Michigan. That guy in Michigan contacted somebody else, and apparently they got a brand new clean garbage truck and drove it 2 hours down to Wisconsin. So that was there's a good story about that. Funny story, as a matter of fact. But once again, he's clowning. Joe Biden attacks Trump, and Trump is like, man, give me a damn garbage truck. I'm not going to let you forget this. Bring me the damn garbage truck. And then they put a big Trump sticker on the side of it. People, this is a person who knows how to market himself independently and how to take over a news cycle. People went looking first to go see him on McDonald's, then to go see him on Joe Rogan, then to go see him with the garbage truck. People wanted to see that, and they went looking for it. Whether you like it or not, this guy knows how to market himself. Kamala Harris is depending on other people to market her. That's why she's doing lazy things like grabbing Beyonce and Kelly Rowland and anybody else who'll stop from their non-selling tours to come give a speech, because she can't actually sell anything on her own. And she knows that. That's the real problem. She's been tasked with doing this on her own, and she can't actually do it. I don't care if you like her or if you don't. She can't do it. And that's why Cardi B is a problem. Cardi B is a problem, and I say this with all due respect. Cardi B is not respected in politics. Cardi B is not a respected political figure. Hell, she's barely a respected entertainer. That's the problem. You've went and recruited somebody who isn't able to move the needle in the area where you're trying to be at. If anything, she's a divisive figure. She's somebody that people don't want to see. They don't like. They don't identify with her. She's got a small, loud fan base, but that's it. That's what she has. That's not a great place to be in. That's the issue. That's not a great place to be in, where you're grabbing somebody who can't actually move the needle for you. You need somebody who can, and she can't actually do it. She's not respected in politics, and you are dumping her off in the middle of it. That's the problem. That's the problem with Beyonce. Beyonce is not respected in politics. You might like her record. She's not respected in politics. She isn't. And that's who you brought out to be your spokesperson. Someone who has no political capital. None. This is just bad strategy. Period. This is just bad strategy. I want to show you all something to think about here for just a few moments. The view count on YouTube, this is what it is here. You can see on your screens. Let me go ahead and position this a little bit better so you can see the view counts for both Donald Trump and J.D. Vance. Kamala Harris said, I'm not going on Joe Rogan. He might ask me some questions I don't like. Might make me look bad. Okay, that's your choice. Like him or not, and you all know I certainly have had my issues about Joe Rogan. But when Trump said, okay, I'll go talk to him. He's the biggest podcaster on the planet. It's during an election. How do you say no to having that kind of access? How do you do that? Trump went on there and, it was millions of views within the first 24 hours. Millions within the first 24 hours. Do you think that those are all Trump voters? Ask yourselves an objective question for just a moment. Do you really think those are all Trump voters? J.D. Vance, 13 million views in just 3 days. But Jason, yes. But Jason, Kamala Harris went and talked to Shannon Sharp. So she did. She told Joe Rogan, I'm not sure if I can get down to Austin. And when she was in Austin, I don't think I have time to stop and talk to you. Kamala Harris said, I'm going to go talk to Shannon Sharp. Shannon Sharp, whose interview was a blithering, dripping embarrassment. All these interviews that are not asking any serious questions, you're just inadequate hype men for a candidate. That isn't grab and swing voters and convincing them of the things they're unsure about. That's not helping. Trump got 44 million views. J.D. Vance got 13 million. Kamala Harris has gotten 1.5 5 million views after almost a week on Club Shay Shay.
And deal with it, nigga.
After almost a week, she's gotten 1.5 million views. JD Vance has gotten 13 million views in 3 days, 72 hours. So even if you want to say, well, Trump been on 9 days, okay, well, she's been on 6. JD was on 3. And by the way, for 3 hours, they were on there for hours and hours. She talked to Club Shay Shay for 60 minutes. I think I can give you that, Shannon. I think I can give you 60 minutes. I don't care if you're a Kamala Harris supporter or not. This is mathematics. This is why she is depending on inadequate spokespeople. This is why she has to depend on incompetent operatives. This is why she's got to throw, quote, star power out there, because she isn't even able to be her own spokesperson, her own marketer. This is where they went wrong. Instead of actually confronting the issues, instead of actually confronting them, they attempted to avoid them, like she has the luxury of dodging those things. As if she has the luxury of doing that. That's the problem. You don't have that luxury, and she's like, let me go ahead and give myself that. Bad spot to be in. Bad spot to be in, quite frankly. But it gets worse. Jason, it gets worse. Oh, yeah. Where did the Democrats go wrong? Where'd they go wrong? I'll show you where else. This is none other than Keith Ellison. You all know Hot and Cold Keith. Hot and Cold Keith Ellison. Hot and Cold Keith Ellison is out here. Some of you may be considering sitting this election out. Damn! For all the folks out there who said the Democrats ain't concerned whether y'all show up or vote or not, who are the Democrats running against? I told you this months and months ago that Kamala Harris's opponent is not in black society, is not Donald Trump. Kamala Harris's opponent is the couch. Kamala Harris's opponent is the easy chair. Kamala Harris's opponent is the lawn chair, not Donald Trump. If Jason was wrong, then tell me why all these Democrats, all these spinmeisters, all these pundits are now going right in the election saying exactly what I said now for months. By the way, if you're considering staying home, Barack Obama, I heard some of y'all going to stay home. Doesn't sound like they're very confident. Joe Biden wasn't talking about people staying home in 2020, remember? Where was Joe Biden, who was going on for weeks and weeks about folks staying home? He said, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. He didn't say, if you don't vote for me, you didn't show up. Nobody was talking that the major threat and the major problem was staying home until this year. Now they're letting you know what I said to you the whole time. Yeah, this is what their minds are on. They are worried that specifically we are going to stay home. They are worried that specifically we in black society are going to stay home. That's the thing that's frightening them, because all of their internal polls, and I've been saying this to you for months, everything they looked at told them, your support is soft. Your support among black folk is soft this time. So Keith Ellison is saying some of you may be considering sitting this election out or voting for a third-party candidate.
Nigga, please.
Because you strongly disagree with Kamala Harris about Gaza. This thread is for you. They're scared that you'll stay home or vote for a third party. He is saying the quiet part out loud. He is admitting and conceding to what their true fears are right before the polls. He's worried about the couch. He's worried about third parties. They're worried that people are motivated to vote, but just not to vote for her. That's what he's admitting. When he says you're going to vote for a third party, well, those are people who are motivated to vote, but they don't want to vote for your candidate because your candidate will not address their actual concerns. She won't go talk to people who are going to ask her real questions so that she can address the actual concerns. So Kamala Harris's problem is that at best, she looks evasive when she does this. At best, you look like you're evasive. At worst, you look like you're dishonest. That's the danger of doing what you're doing. You don't look like you, all of a sudden, you was jonesing to talk to Shannon Sharpe. You look like you're avoiding it. How the hell do you go to Shannon Sharpe over Joe Rogan? No offense to Shannon, but at least you need to make sure you show up on both. Those folks on the other side that you need to speak to, the people who are not inclined to vote for you, if you're going to poach any voters from Trump, Joe Rogan is where Trump's audience is, not Shannon Sharpe. You don't get, Kamala Harris didn't pick up one new voter from Shannon Sharpe, and we know what she was thinking. I've been telling you all about this for over a decade. A major viewer block of ESPN is black males. The Democrats have always used that strategy. They've always leaned on that particular statistic that black men watch a lot of ESPN and watch a lot of sports. So, of course, she's telling herself, well, I can't go talk to Joe Rogan. I'll get my head broken. Let me go talk to Shannon Sharpe. Here's the problem with Shannon Sharpe. Like Cardi B, Shannon Sharpe is not respected in politics. Damn! That's the problem. There's not one black male in America who was saying, you know what, I really wish Kamala Harris would talk to Shannon Sharpe so we can find out what she really thinks, because Shannon is good at this. When folks talk about the Cat Williams interview, they ain't talking about Shannon. They like, let Cat flow. Everybody, when you watch that interview with Cat Williams, the one that made Shannon blow up. All right, but folks didn't watch the interview for Shannon. They watched it for Cat. So Shannon is sitting up here softballing and ass kissing on her. Dude, you don't have a reputation for being able to handle this. You don't have any political capital or political pedigree. So her talking to you, folks, the proof is in the numbers. That didn't move anybody. She's hoping that it will get black men who are inclined to vote against her off the couch. It didn't do that either. Here's the reason why, folks. If you're going to talk to Shannon Sharpe, Shannon, your interview was a damn dud. And the reason it was a dud was because you refused to ask her any difficult or confrontational questions. If you are afraid that people have these thoughts about her or have these sentiments about her, you don't address it by avoiding it. You address it by taking it head on. If they're only going to have an hour to listen to you, you need to address their concerns. You need to say exactly what they are concerned about. Not you trying to be her press secretary and clean it up. Which is all he did. He was sitting up there being her publicist and cleaning it up and treating her like she's great. Your job is to treat her like we don't know you. And let her make the case for herself. That's how you win over voters. That's how you win over independents. That's how you win over undecideds. That's how you win over Trump voters. That's how you win back skeptical black men. If he were truly our voice, and they're admitting that black men are like, yeah, we cool on that, with black women right behind us, D.L. Hughley and the rest of the damn ass-kissing squad, y'all aren't helping her. You need to stop sitting up here telling her that the black men's is wrong and y'all need to fall in line. It's like, hey, Kamala, let's talk about what's wrong with you. Let's talk about why it is that folks are cool on you so you can deal with that. That's the problem. Let me explain to you all something else. There's another thing right there. You gain a lot by talking to adversarial places. You do. You do. Because you can give them responses you can't give to your little friendly commentators. You can do that with them. You can't do that with the friendlies. You can go in on Trump if you talk on Fox News. It's okay for you to go in on him over there. It's okay for you to show and talk about the big contrast between the two of you over there. Think about it like in the world of rap, people. When you got two rappers beefing, when you get in front of the microphone, I'll be damned, you got two rappers beefing, you don't want to hear the person, like with Drake and Kendrick, you don't want to hear the person talk about, well, Drake, you know, you put out a lot of good music and you've helped a lot of people and you was giving out turkeys and things, and Kendrick Lamar be hanging around them thugs, and, you know, can you explain to everybody here why it is that you make music for men and women and Kendrick Lamar don't make music for everybody like that? That was what Shannon Sharp did. Well, Shannon, thank you very much for asking me that. Very happy to hear that. I can never be nobody's number one fan. That wouldn't help Drake. That wouldn't help him. Hey, Drake, Kendrick Lamar is talking about your mama. He talking about some kids. He talking about you ain't black. What you say? By refusing to ask Drake about that, you're not giving him a chance to debunk it or defend himself.
And deal with it, nigga.
By avoiding the issue, you're not helping Drake by avoiding the issue. Avoiding the issue is denying him the ability to confront it and at least give himself a chance to debunk it. And the same thing with Kendrick in reverse. You're not helping them by avoiding it. Take the issue head on and at least you give yourself a chance to debunk it. By going months and months and every day and avoiding the issue, that doesn't make it go away. That doesn't reassure the people who ain't cool on you. I've tried to point out to you all what effective commentary is and effective answers are. I have open microphones. I have open phone lines. Anybody who wants to call me up out of anywhere, any day, anytime is able to ring me up live in front of all of you, uncensored, uncut, and ask me whatever. And I haven't sat up here and dehydrated yet. I've spent years and years learning how to deal in that environment. So I've learned how to make the case for myself. Kamala Harris has been in politics for 2 decades and doesn't know how to do this yet. Not a great sign. To make matters even worse, where did the Democrats go wrong? Make matters even worse. Oh, hell. And this coming from immigrant land.
I'm a person of deep Muslim faith, Abrahamic religion. I love my Jewish brothers and sisters. I love my Christian brothers and sisters. People who come from different communities and backgrounds. We're all the same. We live in a country where we should be working together, not hurting each other, not defaming each other. We should be protecting the rights of every person to speak. Because today, if I am supporting the censorship of a segment of this country, guess what? Tomorrow I will be censored too. And I don't want that for myself or for my family. And that's why it's surprising to say, Trump is kind of an asshole, right? He says a lot of things. He's not the nicest person in the room. He's not going to sugarcoat things for you. But guess what? The 4 years he was president, nothing happened to me personally. I was safe. This community was safe. This country was safe. Yes, immigration changed in a way that I did not agree with, and I fought against it. And guess what? Change did happen, because in this country we have a system and a process where we have values and ideas brought to the table, and the people in this country gets to decide what is good for us. Trump is not going to agree with everything that I have to say, nor do I agree with everything he has to say, but I fundamentally believe he is the safest bet for our country moving forward. Our economy is in shambles. People cannot work, yet we're talking about awesome wage growth, awesome job numbers, and then months later we have those numbers detracted as falsehoods. We no longer hold truth to be sacred in this country. We have a media landscape where truth is now falsehood and falsehood is now truth. And I am not down with that. So for me, I'm going to continue to advocate for those who are sad, saying that I'm abandoning my party. Guess what? I did not abandon my party. My party abandoned me, and I'm not going to be party to that. And we're going to organize in this last couple of days to change the direction of this country.
Okay. Now, there are a couple of things I want to point out. First of all, this is a Somali community here. Letting you know, thank you very much for helping them get in the country. Now that they are here, we want to come vote Republican. Damn! So there's your first lesson here. Thank you for letting us get our citizenship here. Thanks for letting us over that border. We appreciate that very much, Democrats. And now that we are okay, we're going to go vote Republican now. Now that we all right, we need to go vote Republican. Isn't that a hell of a way to thank them? So folks have asked me for years what would happen. By the way, I've warned you about this now going on 2 decades, that this is the pattern. This is the chain of events and the course of events as it happens. When they need to get into the country, they are all in favor of lawlessness, no borders, no laws, just let me in, let me in. As soon as they get in, okay, we need to stop all the foolishness. Oh yeah, and by the way, one more thing.
This country was safe. Yes, immigration changed in a way that I did not agree with, and I fought against it. And guess what? Change did happen, because in this country we have a system and a process. Nothing happened to me personally. President, nothing happened to me personally. Guess what? The 4 years he was president, nothing happened to me personally.
What? Damn! Now, how long has TBA told you all about that one? Oh, no. Let's bring some invoices, because people like to question me and dispute me sometimes. By the way, what have I always told you was the thought pattern and the philosophy? Soon as they get over that border wall, they have no problem yanking that damn thing up from everybody else behind them. And once they individually have gotten what they want, man, they don't give a damn about everybody else. That's why they fled to begin with. This is why we keep questioning their principles and their character. These folks who have a track record of fleeing and running, yeah, dude, they're looking out for number one. They're looking out for number one. And when the rubber hits the road, and when it's nut cracking time and they have to make a choice, they are going to protect their own individual interests. He's sitting here talking about he's a Muslim. And yeah, that Muslim ban that Trump made, well, nothing happened to me personally. Spoken like a true Democrat. Damn the rest of y'all, nothing happened to me. Now, I just wanted you all to hear, he's saying it straight out, nothing happened to me. So since nothing happened to me, Trump is all right. So when we have a situation where you have people trying to probe us for our philosophies and our principles and where we stand on these things, and why is it that we tend to be very skeptical and we started pointing things out? We pointed this out right here because today he's telling the Democrats, okay, I was with y'all, but nothing happened to me, so I'm with Trump. Tomorrow, he'll be saying it to us. If he's not saying it to us already, which probably is. So I wanted to put an exclamation point on that. I wanted to put an exclamation point on that to show you all, where did the Democrats go wrong? 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 Now, there was a clip from Bill Maher's Real Time. He had on Andrew Cuomo, former governor of New York, who I told you all is gearing up to run for mayor of New York just as soon as they can get Eric Adams indicted and removed from office. But Cuomo is going to gear up to run for mayor of New York. So he wants to get back into politics. He was on Bill Maher here a few months ago. He was on Bill Maher. For those of you who didn't hear what he said while he was there, if you wonder if some folks out there are having a reckoning, I would submit to you to let you know, yeah, they are. They sure are.
Cuomo. You have the person in your old job, the governor of New York, a Democrat, saying, don't come here. Those are her exact words. And the mayor of New York saying, this is going to ruin our city. If I didn't know who was talking, I would have thought that would be Republicans.
His immigration policy was a mistake. I get the theory of the extreme left. We're a land of immigrants, let everyone come in.
Did Andrew Cuomo just refer to Eric Adams and Governor Kathy Hochul as the extreme left? By the way, did he just refer to fellow Democrat, the open borders, did he just call them the extreme left? Well, yeah, if you all didn't see this and hear this, oh, you know this, the media didn't go broadcasting this. They didn't go amplifying this. Oh, boy. Do you think that there are some folks in the Democrat Party who realize, yeah, we took a wrong turn, and some of them are like, yeah, I'm getting off this train for self-preservation. The rest of y'all can go over in the ditch.
You have the person in your old job, the governor of New York, a Democrat, saying, don't come here. Those are her exact words. And the mayor of New York saying, this is going to ruin our city. If I didn't know who was talking, I would have thought that would be Republicans.
His immigration policy was a mistake. I get the theory of the extreme left. We're a land of immigrants, let everyone come in. We all came as immigrants. But how you do it makes all the difference in the world. And to just open the borders with no plan, you don't know where they go, you don't know who's going to pay for them. They wind up in cities all across the country. New York has a couple of 100,000 in hotels, costing New York City a fortune.
Well, sounds like some folk in the Democrat Party are breaking camp and breaking ranks. Now, I warned you of this also, folks. Remember, I said this back in 2020. I pointed this out from Nancy Pelosi. I pointed this out from Chris Cillizza, that if the Democrats start losing to Donald Trump and Republicans, you're going to hear the Democrats start talking more like conservatives. I told you this 5 years ago, 4 years ago, 3 years ago. I reminded you all, by the way, if the Democrats start losing to Republicans, they're going to start talking more like Republicans and start talking more like conservatives. That's what they're going to do. And what do you know? John Fetterman, Andrew Cuomo, oh boy. Where did the Democrats go wrong? Where did they go wrong? They know where they went wrong. The problem isn't that they're a party of liberals. The problem is they're a party of liars. That's the issue. Trump is an honest bigot. Kamala Harris is a dishonest high school counselor. That's what people have a choice between now. An honest bigot or a dishonest political operative. That's your choice. And that's not a choice you want to give people. Kamala Harris comes across to everyone as insincere, ungenuine. The only thing she has going for her is, well, you're not Donald Trump. That's not really the position you want to be in. You want people to be able to talk about what they like about you. Cardi B, I played that for you all. Cardi B literally sat there at Kamala Harris's rally and said, Trump is a hustler and I'm a hustler too. Literally sat there and said that. For those of you who are late, I'll go replay that one more time for you, just in case you were late coming back up in here. This is what you get for not being here early and often.
We all knew Trump was a hustler. But hustling women, and I'm a hustler too, yeah. But hustling women out of their rights to their body is nasty work.
This was Kamala Harris's spokesperson who could not finish her speech without breaking from the text of the speech to let you know, by the way, we all know Trump is a hustler. Wait a minute. That's not an insult in the world you come from, Cardi. Being a hustler is not an insult. So Kamala put you in a tough damn position. You're in a position of having to argue against hustlers now? Cardi had to stop right there. Wait a minute, Kamala, before you sit up here and denigrate the hustlers, by the way, I'm a hustler too. Okay. This is your spokesperson. Where did you go wrong? When I say that she's not politically capable, where did you go wrong? You don't even have operatives who are sticking up for your version of the events in any competent way. Where did the Democrats go wrong in 2024, folks? Because that's all you have right now. It doesn't matter what happens Tuesday. If they lose, it was predictable. If they win and squeak out a victory, that wasn't the plan either. If they lose, it's a disaster. If they win, it's a crisis. Where did they go wrong? That's the question that matters now. I want to take a little bit of time tonight to reflect on that. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the Zoom and give you all an opportunity to go ahead and dial me up and weigh in on that. Unlike Kamala Harris, I will talk to people here. Whoever calls up for that, just make sure you have your camera and your microphone turned on. That's all we're asking there. In the meantime here, we're going to go ahead and take a very brief commercial, non-commercial break. Before we do, I want to thank everyone, and I do mean everybody who has contributed for tonight's program on PayPal, Super Chat, Venmo. My man, Mr. Richburg, thank you very much for your support. We appreciate that. Keenan, Carlos, Stephanie Porter there on Super Chat. Thank you very much for your support as well, and to everybody else there. We're going to take a very brief commercial, non-commercial break. When we come back, we will take your calls and more. This is the Black Channel.
Is your child struggling in school? Wish there was a way to get them the extra help they need? Mr. B, the teacher, is available for online tutoring on both tutor.com and varsitytutors.com platforms. He can help your child in a variety of subjects and is passionate about making learning fun and effective. And for even more learning tips, check out his book, Guidelines for the Successful Student, now available on Amazon.com. For more information or to reach him directly, go to MrBTheTeacher.com today.
Order yours today to experience all the benefits of Ash Kickin' Body Butter. With skin so smooth and soft, you'll thank us for it. Shop Ash Kickin' online. That's ASHKICKIN.com.
Hi, this is Brenda Starr, creator of Poetry with a Purpose and author of the book Pressed But Not Crushed. Press But Not Crush is an anthology of political poems that address current and historical issues in American descendants of slave population and African American population. The book describes slaveries and its residuals, Jim Crow segregation, social depredation, and other relevant issues to American descendants of slaves and African Americans, including the current political climate that does not address our issues.
This is the Black Channel. I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, the Black Authority. Very glad to be with you all here this evening. The Zoom is open there. It's the pin at the top of the chat room there, so you can go ahead and click on that if you would like to go ahead and discuss that. And we're talking tonight about where did the Democrats go wrong? Where did they go wrong? How did they find themselves in the position where they are just squeaking by? How did they find themselves in the position where they are just squeaking by? That wasn't supposed to be what it was supposed to be. Wasn't supposed to be that. Tough spot to be in. Tough spot to be in. Let's go ahead and get over here on Zoom. All right, we got I got Brother Elijah over here on Zoom. He's first up at bat for us here. Where you at, Brother Elijah?
I'm right here, big brother. Can you see me?
No, we do not see you.
Okay, let me can you see me now?
There you go.
Good evening, big brother. How you doing? All right. And be one to you and the family. I to start this off, brother, and I'm gonna be quick so other brothers and sisters can call. I don't understand this nonsense. How could you invite Cardi B? But first, you did Megan Thee Stallion, and I remember 4 years ago, those two women did such a deplorable song, and they released that song right during the middle of the George Floyd uprisings. And this is who you want to represent you and be your spokesperson? This, okay? And then these women, with all due respect, they want to embarrass Black society all across the world and everything like that. This is our representation right here. How could you even think to bring them out?
Well, remember, first of all, she's not making the choices. She doesn't have any connection to Black people. She doesn't know anything about us. She never has. So first of all, she's not making the choices. That's the issue. So she's listening to the, Lily Adamses out there, and that's what she's got. She's taking their word for it. Remember, I want y'all to understand, when the brother got killed up there in St. Louis by the police, remember, Cardi B, I say Cardi B, I keep mixing the two of them up because they got pedigrees. But remember Kamala Harris at the service? I played that with her and Al Sharpton. She didn't even want to address anything. She was scared to speak. She wouldn't even really address what had even happened. It was just the weirdest non-speech speech you ever heard at a funeral. She was afraid to say anything because she doesn't know what to say. She spent her entire life interfacing with whites and Asians.
Yes, sir.
That's it. And now she's being forced to interface with us, and she doesn't have a frame of reference. So she talks to us like a 60-year-old white woman. Why did she say Tupac? Because Tupac made the news, people. For those of you who were there at the time back in the 90s, Tupac made international news before he got killed. Then he made bigger news after he got killed. So it doesn't matter if you knew rap music or not. You knew who Tupac was. You knew who she was.
Yes, sir.
And that's the point. So that's why she named it. Any 60-year-old white woman, remember, damn me, Martha Stewart knows who Snoop Dogg is. Damn. Okay, find a 60-year-old white woman in America who does not know who Calvin Brodus Snoop Dogg is. Tell me, find one who doesn't know. So we have to be aware that, by the way, that's their frame of reference. This is who they know. Then she tried to go, first of all, she tried to ad lib about that and it didn't go well. Then with Fight Dog, it's just everything you're saying. It's like, baby, it's so obvious that you Googled this somewhere. This isn't actually something you remember. This is something you're trying to fabricate, but this isn't something you remember. This is something that you went looking up. Because if I wanted to be real dirty, I would have told her, oh, you're a Tupac fan. Yeah, I love Fight Dog. How often do you listen to him? Oh, every other week there. That's great. Hand me your phone right quick. Let me see your playlist. That would have been the end of it right there. Look, it was the reason they let her run in 2020 is because it was too easy to defeat her. It was too easy to beat her. And that's why she named those things. She doesn't know, brother. She's talking to young white women. White women like Cardi B. They always like their guilty pleasures. They like watching folk sit up here and indulge in degenerate behavior. A lot like people like watching mafia movies. Criminal behavior you would engage in, but you kind of get a thrill out of watching it. Okay, they like watching vicarious slumming. They like that. It gives them a break from the monotony of their own dominant society experience. That's why they like that. The Cardi B's and the Nicki Minaj's and the drill rap. That's why they like it. On YouTube, all the channels talking about the drill rappers are white men. Hell, some of them British. They're not talking about white metal bands. They're not talking about white country music. They're talking about us. They're talking about us. Okay, well, the white girls are the same way. Same thing. And that's who is advising Kamala Harris about how to talk to young black people. Let me say this again. It is young white females advising Kamala Harris about how to address young black males. That's who's doing it. That's why it all just looks really crazy and weird. And it's very, very awkward. To the white girls, this should work. But then again, they don't care they're not invested in whether it works or not, other than career-wise. Because if you get a chance to consult for the vice president of the United States, you're not going to turn it down. So even if you are unknowledgeable and unqualified, you're going to answer the phone. And you're going to tell her, why show I can help you. And on paper, this all sounds great. Folks, if you can get an endorsement from Beyonce, on paper, that sounds great, doesn't it? Sounds great. But that would be the same as saying if Michael Jackson endorsed somebody, they should win the presidency. That didn't work either. So that's the kind of thing that you have to keep in mind. She's not being advised by people in the real world. She's being advised by the little white girls who are connected.
Yes, sir.
And that's the way it always is. So if she wins, it'll only be because a bunch of folks say, yo, Trump gonna win anyway, we staying home. But it's not because she was giving great advice. Where are you on your way to?
Yes, sir. Oh, I'm heading to New York Penn Station to pick up my grandmother from because she's coming back from D.C.
Oh, good.
Just gonna help her. Yes, sir.
Well, she'll be in good shape. He done replaced the batteries and the smoke alarm, so now that woman can get her some sleep. By the way, you didn't email me about that thing, so you need to email me about it. You didn't email me about it, so make sure you do that before you get done.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. Give us a call. Let me get Terrence. Let me go ahead and get Terrence here on Zoom. All right, Terrence, you're on Zoom. Okay, Terrence was on Zoom. No, he is not now. All right, let's see if we can get John up here on Zoom. Let me get John on Zoom. Okay, John, turn off your speakers.
Yeah, let me turn that off right now. Hold on one second.
All right, John, what's on your mind?
All right. So, I wanted to ask you, if and when, I think he's gonna win, but if and when Trump wins, being that he was already the president for 4 years, you know how most presidents, they get maximum 2 terms. So if he wins this time, does he still have another 4 years after if he decides to?
No, you can only serve for 8 years of your life. So you can serve 2 terms. The terms don't have to be consecutive.
Okay. Yeah, that was my ultimate question I wanted to ask you. I've been trying to ask you that for a couple of weeks. I kept forgetting.
Yeah, after FDR, it was very clear that, eventually you're going to have somebody who doesn't honor that little honor system of only running for re-election once. So that was why they had to change things. So, but you can only run 2 times in your life.
I mean, we had that here in New York with Bloomberg. He stole the third one. I don't know how that worked out.
Yeah, I mean, just things like that. So it can happen.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we ain't listening to no Cardi B over here, so I don't know why she's bringing. If you're gonna bring some rappers or whatever, you got to bring like a KRS-One or Chuck D. You can't bring these bird brains up there and expect us to be like, all right, because she bringing these people over there, like we're gonna vote for her. That's crazy. And I'll be surprised. I'll be amazed that any black woman will still want to vote for her because they see she got these so-called black celebrities up there. It's crazy.
This is what they think of us. Just understand, it's a horrible stereotype, and this is what they think of us. Even when we tell them we don't like it, they're still doing it because they don't have another frame of reference. This is who they really think we are politically, even when it fails.
Yeah, bird brain mentality. I get you.
Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. I mean, it's maximum cringe, but this is what they think. This is all they really think. They can't think of anything else. All right, let me go ahead and see if I can get Remy up here on Zoom. It might be Remy Ma. Who knows? Let me go ahead and see if I can get Remy up here on Zoom. Hopefully Remy is not contacting us from their Zimbabwe broadband. Okay, there you go. Remy, what's on your mind? Okay, why is Remy looking like a young Ice-T? Remy, are you there? Okay, let me try one more time, Remy. We see you. You can speak. Okay, Remy is trying to work out this newfangled technology. Let me give him a few moments here to see if we can get that worked out. In the meantime, let's see if I can get Henry up here on Zoom. Henry, you are on Zoom. All right, what's on your mind, Henry?
I got you. Yep. Nah, we're good. We're good.
Okay, you must be listening through something else there. What's on your mind, Henry? Oh, he's got them wireless earbuds. It gets them every time.
No, I'm here, Jason. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir. We hear you and see you. What's on your mind?
All right, perfect. So look, I'm in Georgia, which we all know is a swing state. And I just wanted to mention that I've been getting bombarded with text messages and phone calls from what I assume is the Democratic Party. And I engage in these conversations with them, and I talk to them about the reasons why I'm not voting for Kamala Harris. And it's very simple. It's the one clip that we've all seen over and over again where she says she's not doing anything specifically for us. And so that was enough for me. And of course, I don't plan on voting for a white supremacist. So Trump is out of the question. And so it looks like the couch in a lot of cases for folks, but I did cast a vote. And I realized how important it is for us to really stand on business and to demand something. And that's tangibles. So, I mean, even to the point where I got text messages where they're offering me $200 stipend to talk to people about voting for Kamala Harris. And so that's the desperation play. And that's just reporting live from here in Georgia.
The bottom line is when the wind is at your back and you have enthusiasm, you see it. When it's not, everybody sees that too. And the shame of it is it didn't have to be this way. They've had 4 years to make their case. 4 years. Their first order of business is a hate crime bill for everybody except us. First thing Joe Biden said is y'all need to get in line get behind the Latinos. That was the first thing he said. Y'all need to get behind them. First order of business. So the chickens aren't just coming home to roost. They're pecking your eyes out. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me try wrong button there. Okay, let me see if I can get Brandon up here on Zoom. Let me go ahead and see if I can get Brandon up here. All right, we got Brandon on Zoom. What's on your mind, brother?
Hey, what's going on, Jason, man? No, man, just saying, want to say I loved all your broadcasts, man. You've been doing your thing, especially covering this election, here. So definitely give you your props on that, brother. But I just had to go ahead and come on in and just ask, what do you think? And I know you probably just covered this probably before, but what is just some of these black folks' problems where even though they know they don't have a platform, Kamala Harris doesn't have a platform to stand on, they don't know any of her policies because she hasn't really given out any policies. They have no stance. They have nothing that they're going to vote for this woman for, and they're still going to do it. They're just blatantly just stuck, just saying, I'm going to do it, even if they couldn't even give you a legitimate reason to do it. And also from even the perspective of people that I know who work hourly. As Trump said, he's going to give hourly people that work hourly who gets overtime tax-free and tips tax-free. And there's, even though they see a clear, direct financial benefit, clear and direct, they can see that money being tax-free. Even some of them completely, if they didn't get overtime money, they wouldn't have any money.
Well, I mean, this is what I've been telling you all for years, over a decade. Mm-hmm. This is what I call the gamification of politics, where they reduce politics to a spectator sport. So just like you might be a Detroit Lions fan and you know they're going to lose, well, I got to show up. I'm a Lions fan. It doesn't matter if the team's not listening. It doesn't matter if the players aren't playing. It doesn't matter if the concession stands out of control prices. It doesn't matter if your relationship to the team is abusive and exploitative. This is the ultimate expression of transforming politics into a brand. Let me explain that. When you transform something into a brand, remember, brand is perceived value. Not cash value. Certainly not cost value. It is perceived value. Now, brother, what you just made the argument of is, can't these people see that if they vote a certain way, it goes against their economic interests? Well, here's what they've been trying to succeed at doing. Getting you to vote for something, quote, more important than money. Remember on my program last night, D.L. Hughley and their beta male summit on BET, where they have Afro Jackass up there saying that we've been conditioned to praise people who make a bunch of money and can do whatever they want and say whatever they want, as if those are bad, as if that's something bad. That he literally telling you, our biggest issue is economic, and he's telling you why we praising folk for making a bunch of money. So that's the subtle psychological manipulation there, is to tell you that money's not relevant. Money's irrelevant. That's what they're subtly putting on you there. So this is when you allow politics to become a game and to become a sport. Then it becomes a brand. Once it becomes a brand, you are no longer interacting for the purposes of getting something. Being in the stadium is your reward. Which is why they tell you you must show up and vote. Being, quote, a part of the process, not a part of the results.
And deal with it, nigga.
That's what they're conditioning people for now. Well, of course, you shouldn't expect anything. Your obligation, you should just be happy to come and vote, to exercise your rights. What benefit do I get? Well, it could get worse if you don't. That's not a benefit. But it could get worse. That's what you'll receive your vote. You can keep it from getting worse by voting for me. So now you are thrilled simply to, quote, participate. And as black folk here, this all sounds familiar. Dr. Claude Anderson's been saying it for over 4 decades. They've been telling us, exercise your right to vote. Exercise your right to vote. You want exercise, go to the park. You can walk all day. You don't vote to get exercise. You vote to get benefits. You vote to get tangibles. You vote for power, wealth, and influence. You don't vote simply to participate or be involved. which is why I tell you all, the only wasted vote is voting for something you don't believe in. You don't go voting as a symbolic gesture. And what they've done is condition people to treat voting like going to church. It's something you do, and your reward is your ability to attend. So that's the reason why they can sit up here and do this ridiculous stuff. And you can tell them this, but for the folks that got jacked into their feelings, they've already received their benefit. Girl, I was at the rally in Kamala. They brought out Cardi B. They brought out Beyonce. I was there. Okay, and I know what Beyonce got for showing up. What did you get? I got to see Beyonce. That doesn't sound like a benefit. So this is the battle we're in today. Those of us who demand tangibles and other folk who demand symbolism. It's really that simple. And the political parties, specifically the Democrats, though, have really excelled at that, of selling you on participation. And that you're a star. That's why they brought all those stars there. Think about that for a few moments. Cardi B is patting you on the back. Hey, come vote for me. Now they're bringing out the stars. Oh, so now you can get some vicarious benefit. Hey, Cardi B thinks you're swell. Why, you're going along with the trend. Cardi B is hip and trend, and now you're voting like Cardi B, so you can dress like her, get a BBL like her, get the crazy ass contour and makeup like her. You can vote like her. You're living the Cardi B lifestyle. And that's your benefit. So that's the issue. And if you think about it with your products and things like that, selling lifestyles, man, that's Madison Avenue right there. That's the reason why you have such a difficulty arguing against it.
Yes, because it just amazes me, man, that they will even go against benefits financially, and these are some of the most financially broken people that I know. They are always needing, they always might need them, $40, $50, though they'll Friday never have more than maybe a couple of grand at a time in their bank account, and they're struggling. They're a month without working, no shoot, they're done.
But brother,
their whole bank account be wiped on out.
But think about this for a few moments. Cardi B and Kamala Harris have spent most of their time at these rallies talking about what? Abortion. They're not talking to them about financial benefits. They're not talking about them about economics because they can't. And they're not even trying. Hey, we're here to offer you more abortion, and nobody's being denied an abortion. But that's the topic of discussion at these rallies. Abortion. So I want you to understand, yeah, you're talking straight past them. You feel like you're talking past them because you are. You're not talking about abortion. You're not talking about symbolic things. You're talking about concrete tangibles that will change things. They're deflecting into something else. So these turned into great big old hoe rallies. And that doesn't cost you anything as a person.
Even for the females are way past having kids, in the 40s and 50s and shit.
Brother, bitter females love exercising their bitterness, but they also love living vicariously and embittering others. You've seen this your whole life. The old women in the neighborhood, they tell the younger women all the bad advice that didn't work for them, that messed them up, ran off good men, ran off good opportunities, left them in the housing projects. They will turn right around and find a 16-year-old chick. Girl, if you get with a fella there, you need to get what you can get now. If you marry him, you need to have a bank account of your own. Don't let him tell you what to do. Well, isn't that what left your ass old and destitute and alone by yourself? That's the advice that didn't work for you. Why are you poisoning these young women? Because misery loves company. And when they show up at these rallies, they feel self-conscious seeing young women not go through what they went through. They will not admit that they were wrong. And Kamala Harris will not demand you do it. Y'all name for me one female who's had an abortion who turned out all right. Damn! Name one female that you all know this. She had an abortion and you wish your daughter would grow up with her character and her principles and the life she got. Name one female you know, and especially one who's had 2 abortions. You name for me a single female who's had 2 abortions that you ain't sitting up telling your daughter, girl, don't you ever be like that. And that's what they're selling. And if you don't think about it and you are refusing to admit your mistakes, well, you'll go along with this. And this is what they're doing now. Look, if you want to know why it sounds so weird, because remember, brother, now we're at 50 years of single motherhood? You have enough single mammies out here now, they can hold a political rally. Now, I don't know how big of a voting bloc they form, but you got enough of them out there now that they form a significant segment of the population, to the extent that politicians can give shout outs and Cardi B giving shout outs to the single moms. There's enough of them out there for that. Who cares if they're failures? Who cares? They've been letting folk run game on them their whole lives. They've been letting niggas give them vicarious thrills their whole lives. They didn't demand nothing from their baby daddy. All 5 of them. They didn't demand nothing from them. So a politician just can slide right in. They already know how to hustle them. So the conflict you're having is between tangibles and talk. And a person who has made a habit of accepting talk, they just happy to be at the rally. They are not offended that that's all they're going to get. Brother, that's the reward they came to get right there. You've been watching them at church do that. You've been watching them at school do that. You've been watching them at the housing projects do that. This is just the next evolutionary step. I'll let you have the last word.
Brother, man, you are absolutely, I got to give you that, your credit, man. You hit the nail on the hammer. I mean, you did right there, man. You nailed it every single time, man, and it broke that stuff down all the way right, because you are absolutely right and for sure. Yeah, I have seen these old heifers, though, sit their asses up here and give these young girls all the same bad advice that they took, and I even some of the bad ones, and even from some of the ones who weren't none of the bad ones, even the good girls, quote unquote good girls and church girls, though, I've seen them try to still live vicarious bad girl lifestyles, though, through their granddaughters. And I've witnessed that personally. The good church going grandmama that sat up here, then letting a dusty nigga run all up in her granddaughter in her house, and they still in high school. So so she's having a vicarious whole season through her granddaughter, the whole season she never had.
And
so
neither
right.
Kamala Harris, nor Cardi B, nor Beyonce, nor Meg Thee Stallion are going to say a single solitary critical word to them about it. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Them chicks are not going to say a single solitary negative word about it. They'll watch you walk in there with your 5 kids, and they'll sit there and cheer you on. Yeah, because they ain't carrying it. They have no problem doing that. None. All right, let me go ahead and see if I can get Huey up here on Zoom. Huey, what's on your mind?
What's good, Brother Black? I'm in Tucson, Arizona. These celebrities, they all need to just sit back, because I know when we were having problems out on the street with all these killings and all these race soldiers running up on us, they were quiet ass mouses and they never voiced anything. You can even ask LeBron James on that. And that whole thing with the thing on BET, they all need to just go somewhere and just sit down, because none of them weren't stomping for reparations. None of them weren't stomping when Patrice Richards got killed, or any of our Black fallen brothers and sisters got killed. So they all need to just go somewhere, in my opinion.
Well, remember, the political parties are spending big money, y'all. And it shouldn't surprise you, because remember, their consultants are folks in Hollywood. And I'm talking about Steven Spielberg. Remember, he's produced some of those Democratic National Convention short films they show for the candidates. I mean, we're talking about they've been done by Steven Spielberg and Hollywood super heavyweights. That's who the consultants are in the Democrat Party. But you can obviously see where the deficiency there is. Well, those people don't know anything about us. Their only experience with us is a caricature level. They don't actually know us. So if you listen to them, you're going to be talking to us sounding like all the Hollywood scripts we hear. And that won't go very well. Brother, that's the one side of it. Here's the other side. The other side is she doesn't want to hear what you have to say. She already knows what you want. So as far as she's concerned, this would just be a waste of time to talk to you. because I'm not going to give you what you're looking for anyway. So me talking to you would be a waste of time. Let me just go talk to Shannon Sharp and see if you'll just give in later and just hold your nose and pull the lever. But talking to you would be a waste because I'm not going to do any of this stuff you talking about. None of it. All I'm trying to do is avoid a photo op where you could confront me and nail me down saying I'm not going to do it. And if you notice, that's why she's avoided interviews. And for the last 4 months, she doesn't want to talk about those kind of things. You ask her a straight question, she avoids it because her people have told her, look, all your positions are bad. And you just need to dodge any question and just go straight to, well, Trump is terrible. And that's what she's done.
And the thing is though, the problem is if Trump's not in office, you are. All this stuff that's happened on your watch, not under his. And you're president right now, so all the policies you can push, you can go ahead and get Joe Biden to help put some of that in motion. So that way, when you do come up for re-election, it says, hey, I already did these things for you guys. I'm going to continue to do this when I get elected. So that shows that you've already put something in motion, but she hasn't put anything in motion. It's just basically, hey, when I get in office, I'm going to do this, but you're already in office. It's like telling the co-CEO of a business what he's going to do when he's a CEO, in my opinion.
Well, please remember when Biden and Kamala Harris ran in 2020, they didn't promise us anything. That was the whole point we made then is what are they offering? We're not offering you nothing. 4 years later, well, let me see if I can get some SBA stuff here. And I mentioned we got plenty of abortions. So this is where we at. They're trying to figure out how to get your vote without offering you anything. And the only thing their consultants and spin doctors are trying to do is figure out how do we remix this argument and remix our sales pitch that will hopefully fool you so we can get back to fool you in the same thing, into believing we're going to give you something, misconstruing our words and believing we're going to give you something, and we're still not going to give you anything. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me go ahead and see if I can get iPhone here. Let me see if I can grab iPhone here on Zoom. Let me get iPhone here on Zoom. Okay, iPhone, whoever you are there, I need you to go ahead and turn your camera on for me. Don't worry, I'm the only person who sees you. There you go. All right, now, why are you looking like you fresh out of a Whitney Houston movie? One of them Lifetime movies. How did this happen?
I'm just chilling.
She looks like Poetic Injustice, y'all. She looks.
Oh, you got jokes?
Baby, look here. I'm Jason Black. Anyway.
Okay.
Oh, how many horses died how many horses died for those ponytails? Please. How many horses died for that? Wait a minute. Let me interrupt the program right quick. Girl, how many horses died for what's hanging on your head?
Probably a few of them.
It looks like you killed the Black Stallion and the Black Rodeo. It's oh boy, y'all should see it looks nice. Don't get me wrong. It looks nice.
Thank you so much. Well, I'm Gabe and I'm calling from Charleston, South Carolina. We spoke before. I came to your live before. But what I wanted to chime in and say is that I find it pretty just egregious how people are just like, especially the Democrats here in Charleston, in like South Carolina, like you talk about the election and it's just like, oh my God, you better be voting for Kamala. So I'm just like, I'm not voting for her. Like, what's wrong with that? Like, they're just like, oh my God, so you gonna let, and it's always, hey, if you vote for this person or you don't vote, you're giving your vote away to Trump. Like, so that's inconsequential to what the Dems have done for decades. And I was like, hey, what do you want me to do about that? But it's just like we're being condemned just because we don't want to vote for this lady.
Well, no, it's not. We're not being condemned because we don't want to vote for her. We're being condemned because we have presented our list of demands, our list of requirements, and all they want to do is the most disrespectful thing you can do, not just in politics, but outside of it. You heard what I said to you. You've heard it now for 15 years. You damn sure have heard it for the last 4. You heard me loud and clear. Now I'm here to say, okay, which of these things are you going to address? Well, you see, Trump is bad. Okay, what?
Right.
How disrespectful can you be? You heard what I just said. And you're deliberately refusing to address what I just told you, but you're nagging me about supporting you. We're not going to have this conversation until you address what I told you to. Then we will have something to talk about. Until then, there isn't anything to discuss. So that's why your conversations with them will be futile, because if you start the conversation about what you said for them to do, all they're going to try to do is evade it. So it becomes this weird talking in circles where they're trying to duck and dodge everything you're saying, but still extract some benefits from you while completely ignoring what you said.
Right. I totally get it. Yep. And that's what they do. And then another thing, if I may add, is just like the temperature is so hot here. Like everybody is just like on edge about the election. So it's just like, hey, I'm like you say, vote for Black empowerment, basically. And where is that? Period. Vote your conscience.
No, I mean, look, especially in a place like Charleston, like I say, Charleston has $1 billion economic bomb that is being erected down there on the waterfront. When that Lowe's resort gets done, that's a wrap. That's not an anchor tenant. That's a super anchor. I mean, it's literally going to be blocking the view from everything that's coming down that street over there. And that's my concern, is that's not going to be the last one.
Right.
For anybody who hasn't been to Charleston in the last 5-6 years, part of it looks like New Orleans. The other part looks like San Francisco. And that's exactly what they're going for there. And they're just getting started at this point.
Yes.
They're just getting started. All the luxury apartments, when you're coming off the freeway exit ramp, they got luxury apartments they're building on both sides of the exit ramp.
Yes.
So you know I've been there. So I'm sitting there watching. I'm like, okay, the gentrifiers are not on their way. They are here. They've already bought everything they're going to buy. They're already building on it. You will not recognize the Charleston waterfront in 6 years. You won't recognize it.
Two, it's unrecognizable right now, right here, right now. 2 years, in 2 more years, we can forget about it.
And it's a bunch of white folk. The thing is, a bunch of white folk down there. When you go down there, it's a bunch of white folk on Market and all behind the old slave quarters. It's a bunch of white folk all over it.
East Bay Street, it's gone. It's gone. Even the tourism. Even have you seen
the tourists are all white?
The so-called Black History Museum.
Yeah.
Have you seen? Of whitewash was a thing.
Yes. The tourists are all white. That whole thing down there is for white folk. And Charleston is really a black city, but it doesn't matter if you don't have control of the economics. It doesn't matter.
They're pushing everybody out, and inflation is horrible.
And Jim Clyburn has overseen it.
Just about to say Jim Clyburn is not making anything better.
Except for himself. For him and his daughter, he think he gonna groom to run. True. So, as I said, this is what the Democrats do. That's why I played the Somalian fella there. They're looking for Negroes who are looking for individual benefits. If you're looking for individual benefits, that means I can buy you off. I don't have to do everything for all of your folk. I can just buy you off, and you'll mislead everybody else. That's the strategy. So when you said that's what the Democrats do, I wanted to say, that's what the Democrats do with us. They don't do that with everybody else. They're going from the LGBT, APAC, Latinos, everybody else. They give them the demands, and the Democrats say, okay, here's the portion of your demands that we've accomplished. They come to us and we can't accomplish none of that, but we'll tell you what we will do. Well, we'll do something for minorities, and you'll get a piece of that. And we got some diabetes medication. You can get a piece of that.
Yeah. And then I too argue with folks. I'm like, they say, oh, how about, Medicaid and Medicare? I was like, if we were living in a desperate state, why would we need the government to fund our health care anyway?
Okay, well, here's the issue, folks. You already got Medicare and Medicaid. They're talking like this is something aspirational. We've had it for decades now. It's bankrupting the country. You've already got access to Medicare and Medicaid. What the hell kind of garbage is this? You've already got it. They're talking like we don't have it. You already have Medicare and Medicaid. This is what I'm talking about. I said this here last week. They've got Negroes sitting up here jockeying to vote for benefits you've already got. You've already got abortion. Vote for us. Why? To protect abortion. But I've already got abortion. What else you got? Vote for us so you can get some Medicare and Medicaid. We've already got Medicare and Medicaid and Social Security. Now you got to vote to protect it. So you don't want me voting for something I've already got. Well, do you realize what you're now saying? Exercise some logic. Well, if you're telling me that the only thing that you're going to do for me is stuff I already got, what you're saying automatically is you ain't going to do nothing else. There's nothing new coming. The only thing I'm voting for you for is the status quo, what I already got. So I can choose from what you've already done, but I can't select anything that you haven't already done.
Right. You have to get out of this mindset. And then one more thing, Jason, like the city of North Charleston, it's annexed, right? So Charleston is annexed to a little bit of North Charleston. We think Charleston is bad. North Charleston is going to be unrecognizable as well. And we just elected in our first Black mayor. But guess what?
Yikes.
The previous mayor in 2024. But check this out. The previous mayors before him has already set so much code and enforcement into law. What can he even do to stop the bleeding? Nothing.
When you say first Black mayor, like I said, that just doesn't hit like it did back in the 60s and 70s, because the thing we got to ask now, we've seen enough of it. Where's the benefit, man? What are you going to do? Voting in politicians who are powerless is not a power move. Yes. That's not a benefit. Voting in folks with no economic infrastructure, no control, and worst of all, no backbone or agenda to change the status quo, because they were not elected, they were selected. If the party got behind them, it's because they already know, all right, now you ain't gonna do nothing out of line. If you do, we're gonna get you up out of there. Next thing you know, you got Keisha Bottoms.
Listen, he used to be the chief of police.
Oh, no warning signs there. Everything looks kosher to me.
And guess who hires the chief of police?
Yeah. Everything looks fine. No circle here. No vicious cycle going on here. No, everything looks great to me. Well, thank you very much for giving us a call here tonight. She got a scrumptious skin tone. So let's hear it for dark skin. She is all chocolate colored, so she's got that going for her here. Good girl, bad city. Let me go ahead and see if I can get Derek up here on Zoom. Derek, go ahead and hit the button here on Zoom. Let's see if we can bring you up to the big leagues. All right, Derek is connecting his audio here. All right, Derek, what's on your mind? Unmute yourself, Derek. He connected his audio and then he promptly mutes himself. All right, Derek, what's on your mind?
Appreciate that, Jason. Yeah, I think the Democrats, they've honestly had this problem ever since they forced Joe Biden out. I think, they wanted to protect Joe Biden. They saw that the numbers were going to show him losing by record numbers, and they figured they could get in really quick, kind of subvert it, and put another person in there. But Kamala's numbers are even worse than Joe Biden. So at this point, they should have just taken the ass kicking like a man, but they wouldn't do that. They tried to protect Joe Biden, and so now they got Kamala. She's going to see the same fate, and this is likely to continue to at least 2028. Because from what I'm hearing and what I'm seeing, the brothers and sisters are just ticked the hell off with the whole group of them, to be honest. The Cardi Bs, the Sexy Reds, the whole group of them. People are just ticked off. And so whether that means sitting out, whether that means voting down ballot and not even selecting somebody for the president. But I do think that when they tally all the numbers up, they're going to see, we've had, let's just say 290 million people vote. But for the presidency, only 190 of them actually selected somebody. They're going to be ticked off if Kamala loses and people actually took the time to go vote. But you got 60 million people that decided not to even bother selecting either candidate. They're going to be ticked the hell off about that.
Well, that's why Roland Martin, when he goes on white cable television now, he's made a point of sounding like the Black channel. What we've been saying the whole time about when you take a look at the numbers and the trends, specifically where the Black vote is concerned, It peaked with Barack Obama, and it's been steadily in decline ever since. And this idea that you'll win elections by doing nothing for us, but convincing us that the alternative is worse, and that's going to be your perennial political strategy when you come talk to us. So you're willing to accept our numbers going down because you're going to try to replace them with illegals, and to the extent that you can't, well, hey, the alternative's worse. That's all you're offering us. Diminishing returns. So they're gonna, no matter what happens this Tuesday will definitely be outrageously uncomfortable for them if they lose. They're gonna start blaming us. Give them a year and they're gonna regroup and give themselves false hope that 2028 will be different. If you have back-to-back losing seasons, 2024 and 2028, then you are going to see a wholesale change in that, the beginning of a wholesale change in their political perspective. Without that, they'll just be buying themselves more time. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. We appreciate that. Let me go ahead and see if I can get Tyrone up here on Zoom. See if I can get Tyrone here on Zoom. Better call Tyrone. All right, Tyrone, I need your camera and your microphone on for me here. Just make sure we don't have any trolling issues. I'll give you 5 seconds to go ahead and get that taken care of for me here, or permanent vacation. So Tyrone, let me go ahead and get that. Okay, Tyrone is hanging out in a dark alleyway somewhere.
No, I'm in my truck driving. I'm headed to work right now.
Okay, Tyrone, what's on your mind?
Yeah, man, like you say about when the Democrats, when they messed up, they been messed up to me 4 years ago when Joe Biden, when he got elected, and he was like he want to thank the black folks, and he won't forget us and whatnot. And then he turned around and still did nothing for us. And then what put the nail in the coffin was when it was in there for a few months, and he ended up signing that Asian hate crime bill or whatnot. That's when they pretty much messed up.
But brother, remember, I gotta remind y'all, he didn't even make it that far. First, he thanked us for the black vote, and then said, "By the way, y'all need to follow Hispanics."
Right.
The Asian hate crime bill hadn't even come about by the time he said that. That was the first thing he did, was say, "Thank you for voting me. Now you niggas need to follow the Hispanics." Never told the Hispanics to follow us. So that was when you knew, yeah, he didn't even get in the office and already the fix is in.
Right, man. Yeah. So yeah, that's just my taking on it. Yeah, they've been messed up. And the truth be told, it really started with Obama. When Obama ain't did nothing for us, and we were sitting around here getting murdered and all kind of stuff like that, and Obama never really did nothing for us, and then that was the precursor to it. And then when Joe Biden got into office, man, like I said, that was the nail in the coffin. So that's just my take on it.
Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me go ahead and see if I can get MB here. Now, MB, if you called in last night, we'll only do one per weekend. So if this is MB from last night, might see about something different there. Okay, turn your camera on for us here, MB. Now go ahead and do that. Okay. MB, did you give me a call last night?
I don't think I called you last night, nah.
Okay, MB, are you sure? Because I'm pretty sure I've talked to Parrish Smith this weekend. I'm pretty sure I have.
What? I don't recall I called in last night, to be honest with you. I could be wrong, but I don't think I did. I don't think I had the time to call in last night.
Okay, I'm pretty sure I've talked to you, but what's on your mind?
Hey, new thing, big bro. This whole thing is a lot to divulge out of this thing. Between Democrats basically promising us nothing. I mean, one thing that gets me to realize that they're in trouble was, what was it, a few weeks ago when Kamala dropped a black male agenda thing, and how much of a nothing burger that was with that. How it was either something very vague and flimsy, or basically repasted things that was part of the whole, rising tide lift all boats thing. And if that's the best you can have to address to us as a counter bargain to our demands, then okay, you really don't got nothing for us. And the only thing you got is getting our aunties and our girlfriends, no moms and them to nag us or whatever. That's the best thing you got.
Yeah,
That right
which
there.
is disrespectful as hell. You don't sit up here and try to talk to a man through a bunch of women. That shows how much disdain. It's real weird for them to have Tim Walls out there. You don't talk to men this way. You got something to say to men, you supposed to sit up here and come to us. Imagine somebody out there had an issue financially at your house or whatever, especially with something that's in your name. They don't ask for you on the phone. They ask for your woman. They don't ask for you. They ask for your wife. They ask for your girlfriend. They ask for your mama. They don't ask for you. Yes, I need to discuss MB's bill here. Are you his mom? What in the hell is this? Or something needs to be purchased here. I want to know if MB wants to purchase something from me. Can I talk to his mom? I don't want to talk to you. I want to talk to the females. That's disrespectful as hell. And so that's how you know they've been talking to a bunch of white women, because these clowns at the BET Summit, that's not our relationship to our mothers and our grandmothers. That big mama thing where they run things, we respect them, but our relationship to them is not they run things. Now, to them moist thong wearing niggas, they run them. But for us over here, that's not our relationship to them. So it's hella disrespectful. It's hella bad. They keep doubling down on it. And the more you do it, the worse it gets. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight here. Let me see if I can get now. Make sure here. Who is this? Make sure I didn't already do this, because that would just be strange. Okay. I got another Brandon here on Zoom. Go ahead and unmute yourself, sir. Second try here, Brandon. Go ahead and unmute yourself, sir.
All right, can you hear me?
Yes, turn off your speakers, sir.
Turn off or up?
Otherwise, it would be hearing myself. It's not a good look.
Turn off or up?
Off. You don't want to hear me. I don't want to hear myself coming over there. All right, what's on your mind, Brandon?
Well, I was watching the news today, and call me a prude, but these people in New York City, they done killed the MAGA squirrel. And that. Oh, my bad.
Okay, well, thank you very much for giving us a call tonight, Brandon. I'm sorry for your loss. I'm sorry for your loss, Brandon. They killed your squirrel. Hopefully you can call people for the ethical treatment of animals. See if they can go ahead and help you out with that. All right, now I do see a name here. Now let me see. Let me see if this one is familiar. Go ahead and turn your camera on for us here, Sharice. Okay. Hello, Sharice. No, I know I've spoken to you.
You have.
Okay. Please remember, folks, for those of you who are not aware, it's one phone call per weekend. However, in your case, I'll let you go ahead and do this because I got more jokes. So go ahead.
Oh, Lord. Okay, so I just wanted to chime in on, you said, where did the Democrats go wrong in 2024? For me, the biggest wrong was when she made her little faux pas at her rally, putting out the folks who were saying Jesus is Lord, and then tried to run to this Black man's church who is known for not really being a man of God, that based on his fruit, the fruit that we know about. So he likens her to Esther from his pulpit, when we know her track record is more like a Jezebel. And so I am one who stands alone in my family amongst my friends and loved ones when I say to them that Skamala is scheming and she's a skiwi, okay? And even though they all are churchgoers, it seems to elude them that she does not stand for anything that their Bible touts. And so I just feel like that's, to me, the biggest waywardness that I'm seeing with this Democratic Party, and I call them demonic, the demonic rats party, because they have somehow infiltrated the minds. And I believe, based on probably Western Christianity, us having been taught a wayward type of religion in the first place, they have completely infiltrated the spirituality of a lot of these Black people.
Well, I mean, to the extent that they have that, because this is not something that's happened overnight. I mean, white society has always been leveraging the Black clergy since slavery. Right. I mean, that's not something new. They've always seen the benefit of that particular strategy. It's something that's been cultivated and refined over the course of centuries. Right. They still talk about it today. Even though the Black church is not nearly as influential as it used to be, even though you can pretty much skip it, they deal with us as a stereotype or their historical interaction with us. Nobody has updated their files. And even to the extent that they have some things they touch on that are up to date, they are just so horribly club-footed and awkward and out of touch with even how to use that. Everything is awkward. So really the only folk who really respond to that are the people who are predisposed to just go along with anything. That's why they were talking about feelings and bring out some R&B stars. When they go talk to white folk, they don't bring out the country music stars. They don't do that. They come to them with policy, and that's all they talk about. When they do a rally in white society, Asian society, they talk about policy, and that's it. They come to us, and Cardi B is trying to whoop up the crowd, and Meg Thee Stallion is swinging a booty meat, and that's what they got going on over here. And it's having diminishing returns now, which is the real problem that they have. Now, how did your night out go last night?
It went well. I actually ended up 2 nights. Tonight I had a birthday party to go to, but the reality is it went well. I will say this, though. Let me add this to that plate before we go. Even with my boo, he actually said to me tonight when we left the little party we went to, he was like, I'm scared to vote for Kamala because I feel like it's affected our relationship. And to a degree it has.
Boy.
Because I feel the conversations we've had, he's not in church for, but
hell.
My thing was, how could you want to vote for this woman knowing she's a skiwi? Like, maybe you with the wrong person. Like, maybe you need to be with the skiwi.
Oh, man. Y'all, she pulled the card on him, y'all. She pulled the loving card on him. Oh, man. And he older, too. He's trying to get out these streets. He's trying to get some stability. Oh, baby, he ain't trying to get back out there in them streets in the marketplace. He's trying to get some Robitussin and some Preparation H going. He looking for somebody else to cook his meals so he can take it a little bit easy. Oh, she went for the jugular, y'all. Oh, he's having an existential crisis. He's like, I can vote for Kamala, but Kamala ain't gonna ski-wee for me, though. That's the problem. I need this brown thing over here to do it. So he's like, I'm in a conflict. My heart says Kamala, but this cold ass bed, I'm not trying to do this no more. So, she got him in a bind, y'all. She got him in a bind. She said, you might be with the wrong person. He started singing like Keith Sweat when you said that. So she said that, he was like, wait a minute, baby, what is we doing? What is we doing? Bobby Womack, let's straighten this out.
Yeah, and I did want it to affect us like that, but...
Too late. Oh, no, this is a defining moment in y'all's relationship. He's going to be walking on eggshells henceforth and forevermore. Oh, no, this is not going to go away. So this was a defining moment right here.
It's 2024 has really kicked in the door. This is one impassioned election, for real. It really is. And like I told him, I'm not crazy about Trump, but I really think we need to start realizing these are devils and look at the policies. Kamala has nothing for you but a pretty face and the fact that she slept her way probably through everything. So his whole thing was a lot of women do, but do we want that to be the standard?
Man, girl, you got him in more of a bind because he's older than you, so she been his little light skin treat since the 90s. Now he done got some of that brown round. He done got some of that. Now he's like, he's trying to wean himself off the high yellow now. So you want him to quit cold turkey. He's trying to wean himself off, and you done dropped the bomb and say he got to quit cold turkey. So he wants to give Kamala the support. Yeah, but that brown sugar got him. So it's just, he's in a tough spot. I don't envy him. He is in a tough spot because Kamala on TV, you sitting right next to him. So he's got existential life and death decisions to make right here. He doesn't even get time to think. Now you got him in the bind. It's like he only got 48 hours. He doesn't even have time to just to contemplate this. He's got to rethink the last 4 years in the next 48 hours. This ain't fair. This is not fair at all. Y'all, how long have you been with this man?
It's been a year. We were.
Y'all, she been with him for a whole year. She's waited till the election to drop the vote bomb on him and say, look here, it's Kamala or me, but you can't have both. Damn. Oh, man. She said it's Kamala or me, and you can't have both. Now, the Democrats been trying to get y'all to do that to us for the longest time. This backfired on them. I'll be damned. Oh, it's rough to be him, y'all. It's rough. Then she's going out to the club, too, so she's already fishing for his replacement. She ain't even stopped. She hadn't even stopped good. Oh, it's rough. He got to this point in his damn life, he thought his search was over. And then one weekend, there it goes. Right in his face.
You know, there are things that are true. Two people can't really walk together unless they agree. You're not going to agree on everything.
Oh, hell.
But there are certain things that are key to your foundation.
It just keep getting worse for him, y'all. She ain't even trying to go back. It just keep getting worse. This is what we refer to as an ultimatum. This is an ultimatum. She ain't gonna back off of this. If that nigga come out that voting booth looking like he voted for Kamala, she's gonna be standing right there. How'd you vote? Did you vote for me or did you vote for her? And so you're gonna force him to lie to you. That's what you're gonna do. You're gonna force him to lie to you. Yeah. You know it. You're gonna either that or he's gonna be resentful as hell. You'll know if he voted the way you want him to because he's gonna come out angry as hell. I want some damn chitlins and some pork chops and some rice, and it better not be hard, Heifer. So you'll find out if he did. He's going to bypass that shopping trip y'all was going to go on. He's going to bypass that one. I already gave you a Trump vote, damn it. What more you want? So that's what he'll be doing next. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight, Sharice. Yeah, y'all thought the politics was rough at your house. Imagine being him. You all thought the politics were rough at your house. Imagine your woman sitting there talking about, did you vote for Trump? I don't know if we can sleep together tonight. I don't know if we can do that tonight. You've been working a hard day. You sitting up here gripping that thigh. And she like, Ski-wee what? Why don't you call Ski-wee? She sleep with everybody. Be damn, been there for a whole damn year. He's like McDonald's. He loving it. She waits until 48 hours before the election to say, by the way, if you don't vote this way, I don't know if we can do anything no more. He's like, what? Oh, he's going to be in a red pill video before this is over. He's going to be in a red pill video before this is over. It's rough to be him. It is rough to be him, y'all. All right, I got Jeff here on Zoom. Jeff? Oh, dude, Jeff, has anybody ever told you look like a serial killer? All right, Jeff. Yeah, y'all, brother. Okay, Jeff, you're live on Zoom.
You hear me?
Yes, sir. I hear you. Oh, brother, I don't know disrespect. Has anybody ever told you look like a serial killer? Brother, you look angry. I don't know why. You got an angry looking face. You're probably the nicest dude we ever met, but you were scowling in the picture. I'm like, oh hell, I interrupted him with the shovel burying the bodies. Can I let you just get back to that and you call us when you're in a better mood? We don't need no more people disappearing.
I'm a happy guy, man. I always listen to your show. Like, again, great broadcast. Jason. I wanted to ask one thing that like I'm a little bit conflicted of. You talked about the abortion debate, right? How the Democrats always talk about abortion, abortion, abortion. The one thing that convinces me about their argument is abortion for females that need it because, you know, if they don't have it, they may die. Like, how do you reckon that?
That's not their argument. That's the problem. So that's something going on in your head. That's not what they're saying. They are saying abortion with no limits.
Well, that's not true. And let me tell you why that's not
yes,
true.
it is. Yes, it literally is. When Kamala Harris was asked what should the limits on abortion be, she didn't give any limits at all. So this is how we catch them every time. They say that, oh no, we're not in favor of abortion with no limits. And then you ask them, what should the limit be? Second trimester, third was true. It's between a woman and her doctor. In other words, no limits.
Well, it comes to that, right? Because when you look at Texas, you look at Georgia, if you do set limits and a woman does need it because her body is like, you know, like she might die, you can't set a limit. So like that's where I understand.
Okay, brother, here's the issue. That's not happening. And they're not arguing for that either. So you can argue against reality if you want to. They're not arguing that there should be any limits. You're the only one saying that. You can't even show us where they say this is what the limit should be. You can't even show that. You cannot Google Kamala Harris saying this is what the limits on abortion should be. You can't find a single interview where she says that. And Tim Walz, it gets even worse. Because up there in Minnesota, he changed the law in Minnesota so that if you have a baby third trimester, the baby can be left and allowed to die. Now, that's the law in Minnesota on the books now because of Tim Walz. So you can't defend him. Sir, you will not be, I'll give you a few moments to go look. He's already over there trying to Google. You'll be here all night, sir. I'm not telling you what somebody else told me. She has not approved any limits at all. Every time she is asked, she did what Jill Stein did when she talked to me. Well, that's between the woman and her doctor. Well, doctors don't put limits on abortions. Abortion doctors don't put limits on it. That's the problem with the woman and her doctor. You mean the abortion doctor, don't you? Not your OB-GYN, not your GP. You mean the abortion doctor.
I understand that, Jason, but I think their argument is, and then this is just the cases that I've heard in recent news, right? You know about the case in Georgia, you know about the case in Texas, where a woman, because she was I think she had a miscarriage, right, or something, and then she needed the fetus to be removed from her body, and she died because of that. Because in Texas they have the heartbeat law.
Okay, well sir, that's actually a misnomer about that too. That's already been debunked, so you're not really aware about the facts of that case. There's a reason why nobody wants to talk to Trump about that. So you all are misconstruing the facts of that. There was a whole lot more that was going on there. So I implore all of you to actually go look in the facts of it. There's a reason that nobody confronts Trump or J.D. Vance about it. This is only a talking point that's given in left-wing circles, and that's the way it always is. But let me ask you here, brother. I mean, you know, other than looking like Yaphet Kotto, why do you not like babies? What is the problem with babies, sir? Let me find it out.
No, I love babies, right?
It don't sound like it.
But the problem is if you have a wife, right, and she has a complication in her pregnancy, and she's not able to get an abortion, right, a medically approved abortion, then she may, like, one, she may die, or two, she may never be able to have a baby. And I think that's their argument. And I don't. Sir,
nobody is arguing that we should not preserve the life of the mother if there's a problem with the fetus. Nobody's arguing that except
there's a lot of Republican states that they've literally.
Okay. Nobody in the medical field is arguing that. Now, do you have some right wingers out there who are trying to say that because they want to firmly define what, quote, life and personhood are? Yeah, but it's not like that's making any traction. So that's not a true statement to say that. However, here's the real problem. Once again, and I won't talk in circles about this, sir, Kamala Harris and friends are not making that argument you just made. You are the only one making that argument. They are not saying that abortion should be limited to the saving the life of the mother. That's not what they're saying.
Their ads are literally targeted to that. If you've seen any of their latest ads
Sir,
on the board,
Kamala, I'm saying to you, find me where Kamala Harris has been questioned and said that should be the limit. She has never said that. Don't tell me about no ads. You're not going to show me an ad that says Kamala Harris says abortion should be limited to just saving the life of the mother. To the mother's physical livelihood. There's not a single one. So you can't make these things up, sir. She's already said it, brother. You trying to argue against the interview she's been giving now for a decade. She doesn't approve of any limitations. None. Not a single one. She's been screaming it now for the last 3 months that nobody should tell a woman what to do. Now, here's my question for you, sir. Do you have any children?
No, I don't.
Okay. Do you have a wife?
I have a girlfriend, but not a wife.
Okay. Well, clearly he ain't gonna marry her. But if you did, would you approve of her getting pregnant and then having an abortion and you not knowing about it or finding out 5 years later?
Well, no, it would suck, but I, as a man in America, I know that's her choice.
Okay,
right?
I didn't ask you what's her choice. I asked you. How would you feel about that? Would you be okay with that?
I would not be okay with that.
And yet you're on my Zoom arguing for it.
No, I'm arguing the extreme of it, right? Where let's say I did get her pregnant and she needed an abortion to want to have more babies in the future or to live.
Sir, do you realize that there have been more abortions since the Supreme Court Dobbs decision than before? Abortion numbers are up. You can Google that.
And deal with it, nigga.
There are more abortions now since the Dobbs decision than there were before the Dobbs decision. And you're up here with this fantasy that you repeating Kamala Harris's garbage that abortion is in danger. How are the abortion numbers up then, sir? And you can stop your ass and Google that right quick and prove that I'm lying.
States, right? It depends on the states.
It's not about depending on the states, sir. If abortion numbers are up since Dobbs, then how the hell are you arguing that folk can't get an abortion? And you've got more of them today than you did 3 years ago.
Well, for example, right, I live in Texas, right, in Austin. If a woman wants to get an abortion, it's after 6 weeks, she's forced to go to New Mexico or Colorado or some other state, right? And I'm not here arguing for abortion. I just think in those extreme cases, I kind of agree with the Democrats. I think it makes a lot of sense. And
but you don't get to pick and choose is the problem. If you are going to extend it that far, you have to accept what you're actually saying. You don't get to put words in their mouths and say, well, they really mean it a different way. No, they don't. They've already said it. You don't get to redefine it. There will be no limits. None. It will not be restricted to, quote, life-saving. It will be a form of birth control. Kamala Harris and Cardi B and all the super sluts are arguing for abortion as a form of birth control. So you don't get to redefine it as, well, I mean, it could be another way. If you're arguing for it, you're arguing to use abortion as birth control. If you're going to do that, then stop trying to pretend that you're doing something other than that. That's what you're doing.
But see, my problem is, right, let's say if I vote for Donald Trump, I'm voting for your side, right?
Sir, I'm not voting for Donald Trump. So what else you got?
I'm voting for your perspective of there should be no exception, right? There should be like 6 weeks and that's it.
Okay, sir, you don't even know what my opinion is of it, and you just sat here and tried to tell me what it is.
I think I have an idea of I have an idea of your perspective.
You have no idea. You literally just said silliness nonsense. Literally.
Your position is more black babies get killed by abortion and
it's not a position, so that's a mathematical fact.
I understand that. But what I'm saying is I hate these extremes where if I'm voting for Kamala, I'm basically saying, oh, every baby should be killed based on the mother's choice. But if I vote for Trump, there should be no abortion at all, and it should be this like the state.
Well, first of all, Donald Trump is not going for no abortion at all. That's a lie. But second of all, Nobody is putting that on the ballot. It's been returned to the states where it always was. Abortions are up. What you're arguing for is indefensible. You understand that, which is why you're trying to redefine it and claim the Democrats are offering something that they never said, because you know that that's a heinous position to take. So you're not actually giving us what they said. You're trying to give us what you say. And that's your first clue that you need to...
Can I ask you a question?
And that is your first clue that you need to abandon this position, because when you have to become intellectually dishonest and factually deceitful in order to promote a position, that's your first clue as an adult that you need to stop.
Jason, can I ask you a simple question? And this is the root of my whole argument, right? If your sister or any woman that you know, she needed an abortion to save her life, would you be in favor of it?
If it is to preserve her life, and if it is determined that that's the only way, then of course.
And what if the Republicans are telling you no, it's not possible in this state? You're gonna have to go to California, Arizona, or wherever, abortions are legal.
That's a hypothetical that doesn't actually exist.
It does exist in Georgia, Texas. We know this exists.
Sir, a female doesn't get to 6 months but not knowing she's pregnant.
No,
so that's a fantasy.
They know she's pregnant, but something.
Okay,
happens.
Thank you. So the bottom line is, any woman who wants to get an abortion can get one. Your fiction that she can't isn't gonna make it true. So the answer to your question is, if they want an abortion, they can get one, even in Texas. Now the terms may be slightly changed now, but every woman who wants an abortion has been getting one, as evidenced by the fact that debunks you, by the way. There are more of them. There are more of them today than there were before the Supreme Court made their ruling.
I literally saw in the news like a week ago, a woman in Texas, she died because she needed like an abortion.
Sir, that's not all the facts there. You did not read, as you've evidenced on this phone call. You and facts are locked in Mortal Kombat. So you're a facts neutral area. But the bottom line is, unfortunately for you, your position, the mathematics disprove everything you're saying. So no, the Democrats are not in favor of any limits of any kind on abortion. Abortion is birth control. And they are also not advocating for life-saving measures to be any sort of litmus test. There are no litmus tests. Anybody who wants to get an abortion has access to get one. The real question we have to ask ourselves is, who are we as people? That's the real question. Thank you very much for giving us a call, folks. If you have to lie, just remember, if you have to do that's logic letting you know you need to abandon this position. If you have to start lying and making things up, you have to stop. You're so married to a position that, okay, let me just make this up because the facts are not on my side. So let me just make something up and then we'll argue that that's what it is. Come on. That is a obligation of adulthood. Hit the button for Trey in Kilgore, but Trey is, I guess Trey is getting his nose powdered. Let's see if we can go ahead and get Terrence up here. We got Terrence on Zoom. What's on your mind, Terrence?
Yes, what's up? The Democrats they're not winning this year because they're not reading the room. They're talking about everything but the things we need as Black people to get rid of this system of white supremacy. Abortions is one of them. They're telling our women that their reproduction rights are in jeopardy, but they don't want to reparate us for when our reproduction rights were in jeopardy during slavery, when our women were put into breeding camps, and they were raped and they were forced to give birth and then have their children sold off. So you don't want to give us reparations for that. You don't even want to give reparations to the surviving victims of the Tulsa massacre. There's only like 2 or 3 of them left. So you don't really want to do anything for Black Americans, but you want our vote at the end of the day. So yeah, they're not connecting the dots.
I mean, they've connected it to the extent that they want to connect it. And they got their strategy for it. I mean, it is not accidental. It's not accidental at all. So,
True.
By the way, for those of you looking at your screens, remember I posted this here last week. Joe Biden giving an apology to Native Americans. Not making this up. He gave an apology. Apologized to Native Americans for 150 years of those crazy schools they had locking them up in. Yeah, he has no problem going back that far for them. None. We come a knocking, all of a sudden it's an issue. All of a sudden we're getting told we can't do. I'm like, okay, I hope there's enough of them to go ahead and make up for the shortfall you about to have over here with us. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me go ahead and see if I can get Remy here on Zoom. Remy was on here before. Let's see if we can get Remy one more time. Please, Remy, keep your eyes on the road. Please keep your eyes on the road, Remy. For those of you who don't follow me on Twitter, if not, why not? So for those of you listening to us here live right now, over 5,000 people in the room, if you are not following me on Twitter, you definitely want to go ahead and do that as well. At The Black Channel on Twitter. It's at The Black Channel on Twitter. You definitely want to be there for that. Okay, Remy has been abducted or whatever in the world's going on with him. So Remy just having a tough life. Let's go ahead and see if we can try something different here. Okay, we got Timmy here live from the Middle East. Turn off your speakers. Timmy, what's on your mind?
Hi, how are you? This particular broadcast hit home because it's crazy. The woman who came up and was telling you how her family are all church-going people but are supporting Kamala Harris. I'm in a situation like that. It's crazy because me and my aunt had a little debate, and she swears she's a God-fearing person, and we had a good conversation about God, but having conversation about God is not relevant if you can't show it through your action. So having
those conversations are not relevant when it can be reduced to an opinion. So your opinion of God can't be wrong by definition, and their opinion of God can't be wrong by definition. The only thing y'all can really do is argue with each other. But nobody can be, quote, right. That's the problem.
Well, following the biblical book, abortion is an abomination. Sex changing of a child, that's an abomination. Those are things that actually stated like in the Bible. It's not something that
Yes, you're correct. That's what's stated in the Bible. Now you're going to be dealing with somebody who said, by the way, I prayed to God last week and he told me that it's okay. Now prove that they are wrong.
Oh yeah, just by going through scripture. But here's the thing: it's funny because they double speak because she told me, oh yeah, sex changing of a child, that's abomination. But then you just said it's abomination, but this is what the party that you want to support you supporting. The craziest thing is she's always in London following American politics and going strong head for the Democrat
How
Party.
old is she?
Oh God. She's in the civil rights generation.
I rest my case. I addressed this earlier tonight. I rest my case. They old hoes who've aged out. Now they just fantasize about corrupting the young. They sit around like a bunch of leeches, like a bunch of vampires, and now they spend their whole days reminiscing. I want y'all to understand something. I'm not going to get into no serious business tonight, but I do want to make this clear to you all. You all have to understand a reality. Old hoes, when they get too old to do anything anymore, now they just reminisce about all the hoeing they wish they had done.
What? And deal with it, nigga.
Please understand, that's what they eventually develop in. The cat ladies and stuff, they ain't just thinking about kittens around there. They're also reminiscing about all the hoeing they did And when they're no longer able to do it, they're now reminiscing. They say, damn, I wish I'd have sat up here and slept with 100 niggas now. Because they're like, okay, I got more years behind me than I'm doing in front of me. Now, all they see that now is missed out opportunities because like, well, damn, if I was just gonna end up here regardless, hell, I should have let the whole damn club run a train. I'm serious. I'm not lying. I'm serious. You all have seen those studies. You've seen those studies and you've seen those polls where they talk to old people at the senior citizens homes. And they asked them, if you had your life to live over again, what would you do differently? You ain't never heard of one of them say, I wish I'd have slept with fewer people. Damn. Not a one. They all say, I wish I ate more ice cream. I wish I'd have watched more television. I wish I would have pursued that man I wanted. Y'all ain't never seen one of them surveys, and you can go to a senior citizens home right now. If you ask them what are their regrets in life, they will not say, I wish I'd have slept with fewer people. I wish I'd have got set out by fewer men. I wish I'd have got run through by fewer men. If anything, they're going to tell you, I'll be damned. I liked it when I was doing it. When they get old enough that it doesn't matter anymore, well, hell, I liked it. I wish I'd have let more of them niggas stretch me out. I wish I'd have cared less about people's opinions of me. That's reality. So that's why you're not gonna make it that argument. They won't be honest with you about that. They won't be candid with you and tell you that. I'm telling y'all right now, I just gave you your proof. Go to any senior citizens home and go ask them what their regrets are. How many folk they slept with ain't gonna be one. You're gonna be like, I'll be damned, you like 90 years old. That should be the last damn thing on your mind. With STDs rampant at the senior citizens homes. So the fact that they're old is blinding you. The fact that they are not as sexually desirable as they were is blinding you from the fact they're still human. And she doesn't regret what she did. She may regret the consequences, but she doesn't regret doing it. It was what she wanted to do. And now you're arguing with her and she wants to preserve abortion because she wishes she would have slept with more niggas and abortion would be a tool in the toolbox.
Well, I'm not trying to say she's a hoe or anything. I was just saying that I'm not going to do that, but I'll do it. Say this. Oh, you don't get me in trouble, but I would say this. I feel sorry for the younger generation because you expect older females to be wiser, but what I'm beginning to see is there's a segment of females who either stay the same or to get worse. And so it's like, I don't see any, I just told a young man, I'm like, I'm not getting any opinions from anybody 30 and up or, civil rights generation. No, I have nothing to say. I only know one woman, one or two females in my whole life that I can have solid wisdom. They're not even family members. It's unfortunate. And really, I'm not voting. I'm not voting because both of them go against the biblical value, and both of them are they plagued with degeneracy. Like the Democratic Party shows all of that. The Republicans just hide it quietly. But the point is, if you're going to stand for something, stand for something. And if you're not, then don't. And this,
if you allow yourself to get so buried off in the social norms of politics that you lose yourself in the process, and you become a creature of political parties that you didn't start and you don't own and you don't operate and you don't control, and you allow yourself to become a creature of those parties, just understand that's not just a wasted vote, that's a wasted life. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight, Timmy. Let me go ahead and get one last one here. I got to go ahead and get him. I got Dominique here on Zoom. Dominique might be somebody, I might let him call in twice on weekends. I might let Dominique call in twice on weekends, just for the fun of it. Unmute yourself, Dominique. What are you doing over there? Probably looking for more cookies. Wake up, Dominique.
Hey, what's up?
Turn your camera on, Negro.
Are we doing this? All right, fine.
There you go. Yo, he's got a new bandana on. Brother, why do you look like you always trying out for a 90s black rock band? I found the issue right here. He wishes he was Lenny Kravitz. That's what it is.
It's What? No. Thank you, though.
Dominique wishes he was Lenny Kravitz, y'all. That's
I
what
like
it
Prince,
is.
bro. I like Prince. No, I like Prince. Dude.
This is why we can't get him straightened out, because then white gals see him and they be like, "You're not like the others." And he's like, "Yeah, you're so right. I'm not like them at all. I trying to get the rest of them straight. They just don't get it, girl. They just don't get it." So, all right, Dominique, what's on your mind?
Okay, so with abortions, I was.
Oh Lord!
Thinking,
oh, let me brace myself for this one. Oh, I wish it had been something. I didn't see this coming, but I should have.
So with abortions, the real reason why it's such a contentious topic in America is because of the white population is dwindling. Like, white people are having less babies, and like all of the abortion laws are so strict, especially in Republican states, because they are the most racist, obviously, and they have the most to like lose and or gain, right? They're the ones always talking about the great replacement theory. So why it's so pressing for them, because they are freaking out that like all of like everything that they've done to the world, like all of the like that, like the white ruling class, all of their karma, they are afraid that it's going to come back. That's why they want to like take slavery out of schools, so we can forget, because they're like, oh no, we deserve this. Like they know that any reasonable person would say that like they deserve to get shot on for that. But the problem is that like they don't want to acknowledge that. But with abortions, no, it's all about the great replacement theory. It's all about keeping the population of white people above like a certain threshold so that they can maintain the majority of the population.
That is a bit of a misnomer, and I'll explain to you why. I can understand why you might think that, but you have to take a look at history and facts. White people were not always the majority. As of the last century, well, not the 20th century, the 19th century, that was the last time they were a minority. They've only been a majority for a little over a century. That's
well, yeah, that makes
okay,
sense.
slow
It's
down.
like
Slow down. That's one fact. They made their greatest strides taking the world from an agrarian economy to an industrial economy in that minority status. Around the world, white people are a minority. Take a look at the different places they dominate. All over Africa, they dominate, and they're the minority. So this idea in America, there's many cities where white people are the numerical minority, but they're the economic majority. So they are not nearly as afraid of the population numbers declining as you all might think. As long as they've got control of the money, they rule. As long as they have control of the economy, they rule. Take a look at South Africa. As long as they got control of the money, they rule. Take a look at Nigeria. Got control of the money, they rule.
Can I make so I think those things are true, but I also think that a lot of the reason why they have a lot of the money is because they have like guns, right?
Yes, sir. And treachery, barbarism, all those things. It doesn't change the reality, but
yeah, so like the reason like Europe got gunpowder from the Chinese, because China is right next to Europe and the gunpowder traveled along the Silk Road, and they got it before it reached Africa, because Africans, they were making steel and smelting back then. So they got guns first, just like how we developed new Americans.
They didn't. Okay, you're playing a psychological game with yourself. You're playing
no.
You're playing a psychological game with yourself right there. That never would have occurred because we had weapons in Africa. You already had those things, as a matter of fact, fire, weapons. What you did not have were people who desired to kill, to refine killing into a science.
That's true. That's true.
So you never would have had guns in those places, because those people were not trying to build empires with the necessity of slaughter. They never would have thought to build rifles. That's why
they incorporated rifles like as early as like the 1300s.
We didn't get. Who incorporated rifles? Who are you talking about?
There were rifles in like North Africa, like right after they were invented. Like they traveled. It's just that they weren't as commonplace. Like they like certain tribes like had them and stuff.
I'm thinking you're gonna want to go back and recheck your numbers on that.
Okay. So my point is, might makes right? And with the white population, right, they're afraid of, because like in a democracy, right, with voting and all of these things, certain like things will go out of their favor, right, if they're less of a population, right, if they like if there's less of them. But really once again, the reason why the Republicans are pushing this is because they are actually afraid.
Okay,
of
show me a place in America where white people do not control the economy and the politics. Go.
Well, yes, because that goes back to might makes right, because they have the power.
Second,
they have the
Dominique,
power.
second try.
What's up?
Name for me a place in America where white people do not control the money and the politics. Go.
Well, that's because I will say that all of America is a caste system.
Okay, but what you're also saying then is that there are places in America where non-white people dominate the population, and yet not a single one of those places where white people are a minority is preventing white folk from exercising power and influence right down to the local granular level. Sir,
Well,
you're
because we
misunderstanding
live
and
in a
overstating
we
the
live in a
importance of
society.
population numbers.
No, because they're about 60%, right? And also it goes back to might making right? The ability to like, take up arms, like all of these things.
Okay, but they're not
factors
doing
of,
that by
like,
taking up arms, sir. They've got that now strictly with control of the economy. So what I'm pointing out to you,
and
Dominique,
they use
listen.
a police force.
Dominique,
What's up?
Listen, young man.
What's up?
You can't name a single place where white people are a minority or where they're not at all that they don't control economically. You can't name a single one. So
That's a bad argument.
So
That's
your
literally a bad point. You're
thesis
making a bad
about
point.
population
You're making a
numbers,
bad point.
sir, that debunks your thesis about
It
population
doesn't.
numbers.
It's a bad point, and you're just like hanging on it. But it's because
It's not a point,
the
it's a
country-
reality
the
that you
country-
can't argue
The country
against.
that we live in, the country that those cities are in, is America, and the race of people that control America is white.
Sir, when you get down to cities and major metropolitan areas, that's not being controlled by, quote, America. You can't name a single one. Show me where the Asians are, the Latinos are. That's not being given down from the federal government. White supremacy is a religion that has refined its strategy of control. You are mistaken about what population numbers do and don't do. The reason why politics doesn't work in the way you're thinking about it in population numbers is because you don't understand what politics is. Politics is how you divide a society's resources. But if you don't have any resources, then all you can do is get together and discuss how you want to divide somebody else's. So you're already disarmed and futile at that point. That's why.
Okay. So like historically, like you have like Black Wall Street and these places where when black people get too big, they burn the place down. And that's like that there's a historical precedent for oppressing black people, right?
Oh, absolutely.
And it can be done
remotely.
It can be done remotely. It's like
No, I mean
because
the
of
war
way
on
our
drugs and
society
everything
is
else.
set
They've
up.
had a number of different strategies. The Freeway Act, and they've had a number of different strategies that they have employed in that regard. The paramilitary, extramilitary, certainly they have. However, I want to come back to what you said there originally. Can you explain to all of us what is the benefit that we receive from abortion as black people? What's the benefit we receive?
I don't think that they're really considering black people as much, but what they do want.
Do you notice that when you get asked questions, you don't address them? Did you notice that?
No, I'm going to it.
It's a simple question. What is the benefit that we
eugenics.
receive from abortion?
No, there's probably no real benefit that we receive other than what like we make of it. I don't know if it's like that, but like the system would want black people to have more abortions than white people. Right?
Okay,
that would be
because abortion is somehow helping us, or because abortion is
controlling the
detrimental,
population,
or because abortion is detrimental to us.
It would be detrimental to like
there you go
everyone. it would be detrimental to everyone if it was forced. If it was forced
Mm.
on them, right? If it was forced on them. But having it as an option, that's in like.
Okay, you say it would be
right?
detrimental if it was forced. Tell me the voluntary abortion that is good and the voluntary abortion that is good and beneficial to us.
To white people, it would like black women are forcibly sterilized in prison.
Okay, sir, I don't want to discuss white folk. I'm asking you again.
No, I'm saying black people are like black
okay,
women
but
are,
sir,
like,
you
forcibly sterilized
Dominique,
in prisons.
you just said that if it was a forced abortion, that would be a problem. Okay, then if it's not forced, tell me the unforced ones, the voluntary ones that are good.
I mean, shit. Like I was born to like a really young mom. She would not have had me. You know, she might have had a better life. Or like, there's people like in our society.
Okay, you can't say that.
It comes down to it's
sir,
a case by case.
You can't say that. That is speculation. You cannot predict what kind of life your mother would.
If I don't get shot, I'll probably
Dominique,
be happy. That's speculation.
you cannot predict what kind of life your mother would or would not have because you were not in control of her decisions then any more than you are now. Even if she married an NFL player with millions of dollars, she can get divorced. She can get a drug habit. She can have a car crash. So you can't use that example. You can't control those conditions no matter what.
So the abortion, it's really a case by case basis.
No,
right?
it's not.
Not everyone. It's yes, it is. It's having the option to do what's right for you.
It's not a case by case basis because in law, it's not treated case by case, sir.
No, for the individual to invoke their right to
okay, that's like saying freedom of speech is a case by case basis. No, it's not.
No. Freedom of speech is a concept, right?
Okay, we're not going to get into base pipe babble, but the bottom line is that there's no such thing as an abortion that is helpful. There's no such thing as an abortion that is positive.
Yeah, what if
there's no such thing as an abortion that's
What
useful?
What if the mom is sick? What if she has a degenerative like mental illness that like her kid's probably going to inherit?
Great, wonderful example. I'm so glad you brought that up. So let's just say that you have a woman who has a debilitating health condition. The children are 3 years old.
What's that have to do with an abortion?
Because if you're going to say that her health condition justifies getting rid of her babies, then why is it if they're 3 years old, it doesn't justify it then too? If she is unfit and incapable to be a mother, then why does their age matter?
No, it's about like
if she is unfit to be a mother, why does their age matter?
What if she has AIDS?
And okay, if she has AIDS and she is pregnant with one child and has two others, we should get rid of all three. Correct?
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying she's pregnant.
Yes, it
with
is.
AIDS, right?
She's pregnant with AIDS. Okay, what you're saying is that she's unfit to be a mother. She's unfit to give birth. What you're saying is she's unfit to be a mother.
She's unfit to be a mother because she has AIDS. Is that true?
So what do we do? Okay, you're saying that she shouldn't be allowed to have this child because she's unfit to be able to raise them.
She should be allowed to have the choice.
Okay, but wait a minute. You're saying she should be allowed to have the choice with the child she's pregnant with. Why can't she have the choice with the one she's giving birth to then? You're being you're contradicting yourself.
No, I'm not really doing that. You're just setting
You said that her being unfit or incapable to provide or be a good mother for the one she's pregnant with, she should have a choice there, but you don't believe she should have a choice for the one she gave birth to.
The case is that she has AIDS. I'm not saying she's a bad mom. I'm saying that she has
Why should she get an abortion because she's got AIDS?
Because her kid's gonna have AIDS probably, right? So
okay, no, sir, no, that's not the way that works.
There's a chance.
Okay, sir, there's a chance of a whole bunch of things, but you cannot say that they're gonna have AIDS. So
yeah,
what else you got?
They're gonna have AIDS too, right? So okay, what if they run tests on the embryo, right, and it's missing chromosomes that will guarantee that it has Down syndrome? We'll guarantee it, right, through this testing.
Okay, there are people.
And the mother,
okay, sir,
has an option.
Sir,
you have the option.
Sir,
right?
have you ever talked to a person with Down syndrome? I have.
My uncle, my family raised my uncle to 53, and then he got taken by the state
and then
Okay,
they killed
sir.
him.
Did you ever tell your uncle? Do you think you'd have been better off dead?
He couldn't speak.
Okay, there are plenty of Down syndrome people who
Like,
can.
I mean, he couldn't speak.
Show me a single Down
Down
syndrome person who says, "I wish they would have aborted me." Show me one.
I'm just saying that should be.
Show me a single person with Down syndrome who says, "I wish they would have aborted me."
I don't think they can formulate that thought, Jason.
Sir, they can formulate a lot of thoughts. So you like I say, when you have to start lying, you don't have.
I'm not
a
lying.
point.
You don't have to call me a liar.
When you have to make things up like Down syndrome people can't articulate themselves, when you have to make that up, you don't have a point.
Some can't.
Most
and,
can.
Some can't.
Most can.
It depends.
Most
it really
can.
depends.
Most can. Most can.
Okay.
Most
Cool.
can.
You're right.
When you have to deceive and make up something, make a point, you can't. You don't have a point.
After the election. You said I could get 5 minutes to like rant.
I ought to have Dominique for the live one, y'all. I should have Dominique join me Tuesday live, but you got my invitation to call in. But I ought to have him there live in the room, so when he says crazy stuff like this, I can turn the camera on him and say, "Look, y'all, Harry Kravitz over here is making up more."
I'm not making up anything. It's just these are just like interesting topics, and these are situations that might arise, and I feel like a woman should have the right to choose, and a bunch of men shouldn't be sitting around saying what she can and can't do because it makes us feel weird. You know what I mean?
So you don't believe that men should tell women what to do?
I mean, it depends. Like,
now it depends.
Yeah,
First he said we shouldn't do that. Now
like,
he says it depends. Oh, okay.
In bed. If she's like walking in traffic and like there's a car move, like yeah.
Okay, so that's not what I asked. So you're saying that men should not tell women what to do?
It is. Go ahead.
What you're saying is that you want to present to women that you will allow them to lead you.
No, it's not always like that. Like I'm not like.
Yeah, he's backing off of that real quick, ain't he?
No. I'm not of the school that I like.
You just said that men shouldn't be telling women what to do
all the time. She should be able to voice her opinion. Leading, dominance, and domineering are different things.
Okay,
like,
sir. How much of the time would you like to tell the women of America that you are willing to allow them to lead you in a relationship?
Lead me in what way? Like picking what we.
It doesn't matter in any way. 20%.
I would if she
40%,
bro. I wouldn't care.
50%.
If she picked what kind of laundry detergent we use, I wouldn't give a shit, dude.
Okay, I asked you how much of the time. How much of the time?
It doesn't. It depends, bro. Like I don't care about like controlling everything.
No, I know. The thing is, there's no female no female considers you to be a male worth anything. Telling her that you expect her to lead. Then so that garbage y'all are talking about here from the Generation ZY talking about women about men not telling women what to do.
If I'm away from the house, I expect her to lead, right?
If you're away from the house.
Right? If I'm incapacitated, I would expect her to like lead under certain
If I'm away from the house, I expect her to make up her own rules.
If I'm bringing something to the table and I bring up what I expect from her and she agrees to it, then like
okay,
right.
Here's what I want you to do.
If I'm gonna do all the working, I'm gonna decide.
Okay, here's what I want you to do, Dominique. Do you have a Twitter? Do you have a Twitter, Dominique?
Yeah, I got a Twitter.
Okay, I want you to change your tagline and your Twitter to, "Hi, I'm Dominique. I expect women to lead."
That's it. You're just like, you're calling me a pussy. That's it. That's it. That's all you got.
No, okay, make it. I expect women to lead 50-50.
Yeah. No. I think a woman's capable of being president.
No. I want you to change it to say
queen.
No, Dominique. I want you to change it to say, "Hi, I'm Dominique. I expect my woman to lead 50% of the time."
Because I'm not obsessed with like draconian like gender roles.
No, sir. Just why don't you tell the women that you expect them to lead 50% of the time and see how well they like it?
It kind of depends.
Why don't you perform that little experiment and see how much the women like it when you tell them, "I expect you to lead 50% of the time."
You want me to be a man. my motorcycle, right?
Okay,
Like, bro, come on.
y'all, he already knows. He already knows what would happen if he does that. So now that we've debunked that, you don't tell women what to do.
I don't know, bro. It's 2024.
Y'all, he doing light skin stuff. He's doing light skin.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
He's
in the
doing
field,
light
Jason.
skin stuff. So, Dominique, we'll see you on Tuesday here. So, Dominique doing light skin stuff. But yeah, when you tell him to let the rubber meet the road, just change on your profile on Twitter to say, "Hi, I'm Dominique. I expect a woman to leave 50% of the time." Watch all them gals who are applauding you. Okay, dude, you gonna be tasting other men on them females? You gonna be tasting other men on them chicks for the rest of your life. You gonna be smelling other men's brute. What? You gonna be smelling other men's cologne. She gonna be on the phone texting people at 2 a.m. That's gonna be your life, and you know it. Hell, he's probably already been there.
And deal with it, nigga.
I'm talking about like that speculation. He probably already been there. Hey, Jason, you know what I mean? Sometimes people make mistakes, dude. Sometimes they make mistakes, dude. You know, that's why you have abortion for that. But you know, I'm not living in those draconian, old, stodgy, ancient ways that you all do things there. I believe in letting women be women, man. Let them be free, man. I don't want to confine them. I don't believe in these antiquated, obsolete, outdated notions you all got there, dude. We're new guys, dude. These chicks dig this, dude. First time he goes and tries to live by that, man, these hoes ain't loyal. That's going to be him, y'all. First time he tries to live by that, he's going to be right back here talking about these hoes ain't loyal. I don't know why they set up here and got with Chad over there. He doesn't pay any bills there, and he talks crap to her all the time, and I don't know why she went with that. I don't know how that happened. They're just kind of crazy there. It's matriarchy. Okay, we got Miko on Zoom. Miko, I need to see you, Miko. Where are you? There, oh, baby, what is you doing?
I'm cooking my damn Sunday dinner.
Baby, it looks like you sizzling up something. She is not wearing a stitch of clothing.
I am.
Oh, okay. Oh, all I saw was cleavage and tattoos. I said, y'all, she said, damn, shooting the shot. She's like, it's now or never. I thought she was auditioning her OnlyFans on here. She's like, Jason been ignoring me all this time. It's now or never. Okay, she's wearing a crop top, y'all. All I saw was shoulders, cleavage, and a tattoo. I was like, whoa. Oh, it's a good thing nobody can see you. She is going all out. She's like, I'm tired of Jason ignoring me. This is it. I done got my teeth done, my hair did, and this nigga ain't taking a hint. Oh, this is it. All right, Miko, what's on your mind?
So what's on my mind is, I am a labor and delivery nurse. I've been a labor and delivery nurse for 17 years, right? So.
Okay, Miko, I don't know why. It sounds like you're on speakerphone or something there. I'm not sure what's going on with your Zoom. So if you got it on Bluetooth or something, you're going to want to take that off because.
Let me take you off my
There you go. All right, there you go.
Okay, yeah, I had you on my Bluetooth because I was listening to you and cooking. But I've been a labor and delivery nurse for 17 years. And what that young man was talking about, and with the Planned Parenthood, if they not getting us in abortion clinics, they getting us in the labor room. They killing our Black mothers and children in the labor rooms. And I hate to say it, but it's true. And I'm so sick and tired of it. I've been talking to Black nurses, white nurses, Puerto Rican nurses, any kind of nurse. Jason, it is genocide on the Black woman and child. It is.
It is.
And with me telling my truth, I've been fired from a job because I've already talked to you. I got a 391 document. These people was making up crazy shit about me on this job. And I see why people don't say what they need to say, because We got rent is high as hell. We have bills to pay. But women that look like me, we are dying having our children in these hospitals. These doctors, we are a paycheck. We are a grant to these women, to these hospitals. A hospital in St. Petersburg, Florida, not even a hospital, a clinic in St. Petersburg, Florida has gotten $2 million off the backs and plaques of Black women dying from preeclampsia. If you don't hear me now. If you're a Black woman, you need to get your health together. You need to stop eating all that crazy shit. Because when you have these babies, you got a high chance of dying going up into these goddamn hospitals. You don't mean nothing to these people. Nothing. Who have sickle cell, Jason? Who is the predominant people that have sickle cell?
No, we're the only ones with sickle cell. White folk can get sickle cell trait, but
thank you. So when a Black woman come up there, now I'm speaking from experience. Black patient came in the hospital with a port. Usually we put ports in patients that have like cancer, that we have to always access. They have they're hard to access with the veins. They're under medicating the sickle cell patients. These white nurses and Hispanic nurses, let me just say, the people of color understand and know what's going on, but nobody is advocating for the Black woman and child. So when you see a Black woman or a Black nurse in your labor and delivery room, y'all need to respect us, because we had to bombard a lot of fucking hurdles to come in this labor room. That's a specialty area. And I'm telling you, we are dying in these labor rooms because of miscommunication. The doctor want to sleep at night. They don't want to get, and on the weekends, if I can do a research, how many Black women and children get injured, I bet you it's on the weekend and holidays. They don't listen to us. You're going to fuck around and find out what time it is in these labor rooms. That Kamala Harris, all this shit going on, y'all better pay attention to what the real deal is. Oh, we're going to abort our babies, then you're going to miss them when you pass the Planned Parenthood, Margaret Kurtzinger, and all, whatever her damn last name, Singer, and then you get to the labor room, that's where we going to get your ass at. A lot of the ADHD, I got a cousin right now. She never called me back. She had to have emergency C-section. Her son is 2 years old, Jason. And I declare for God, this baby had a birth injury. So if you think your baby eating boogers at 25 and he can't say his ABCs, that's a birth injury. Well, you got up to 18 years to go back into a hospital. 18 years. There's no statutory until after 18 years. Y'all put y'all trust in these white doctors, these white nurses, but you turn your nose up at Black people. These hospitals get multi-millions and billions of dollars off the plaques of Black women dying in childbirth, trying to study, just like they studying we got to study the reparations. They studying why we dying at the same rate as the white women not dying like us. But if it was white women dying at the rate of Black women, it would have been a wrap.
It's a ridiculous question to ask because they know why. I mean, this is
Thank
not
you.
accidental. This is engineered.
Big bro. So you tell me, remember what back in the day they used to call it housekeeping, right? So what is housekeeping called now? Environmental services. So now in the hospital, it's this big thing about what's the word? Implicit biases, culturally competency. So they changed the word. No, it's racism. You're dying because you a Negro, Nigger with the hard R. You think somebody from the 1950s, 2030, their kids, they growing up in the hospitals, they already know that they're better than you. They're looking at Cardi B. They're looking at Megan Thee Stallion. They're looking at Gorilla. You Gorilla, boo, when you come up in these hospitals. then you get Sister Miko as your nurse and you turn your nose up at me. And baby, I'm going to save your life. I can't go to the hospital and discriminate because I'm going to lose my contract. But everybody can discriminate against us. Why is Black women, the question is, why is Black women and children dying in these hospitals? Serena Williams, all that money that girl had, you know what the white folks did in Miami? And she delivered at a country little hospital down in South Florida. That damn girl almost died had she not advocated for herself. You already know she already got blood clots. So when she had her C-section, she felt that shortness of breath. She told the nurse, okay, I need to have an MRI and be on this insulin drip. The lady chunked it up. Oh, you're just having some delusion from the medication, the pain medication, Dilaudid or Motrin or Perks. Had Serena Williams not advocated for herself, this is a multi-millionaire with a white husband that's a billionaire, and she would have died. Judge Hatchett, her daughter went to a planned C-section, and that lady died. She was bleeding, and by the time they got her to the OR, she had lost 2 liters of blood.
And that's
so
a brief reminder: abortion and C-sections. For those of you who do not know, I got young folk like Dominique. For those of you who do not know, those are 2 things that are pushed on Black women. When you give a woman an abortion, you are messing with her reproductive organs. It's a proven fact. You can't have endless abortions, by the way. First of all, you can't have endless abortions. You keep doing that, and eventually it wrecks your ability to have children altogether.
Yes.
Forget what it does to you psychologically. But more insidious are these C-sections. When Black women go into the hospitals, it is standard procedure that they try to push a C-section on you at the hospital. The reason for this is because they want to, it basically is going to limit the number of children you can have. For those of you who don't know that.
Brother, you're preaching. You're telling the truth. Because like I say, I'm a labor and delivery nurse. I've been doing this since 2007. It's 2024.
If you have a C-section, go ahead and tell them what happens after you have a C-section, what you can't do anymore.
Okay. Now, the first C-section, you can have a TOLAC, which is TOLAC, trial of labor after C-section. But you got some doctors that don't want to do a trial of labor, because when you do a trial of labor after a C-section, the doctor have to be in a hospital, and you got to be ready for C-section. So you can't have what we call a VBAC, vaginal birth after cesarean section. But a lot of doctors, once you get cut the first time, and depending on how they cut you, whether it's transverse on the lower segment of the uterus or the ventral straight up and down on the uterus. If you get a straight up and down cut on the uterus, you have to go back for another C-section. But the more you have C-sections, you increasing your risk for when that placenta implant in that uterus, you at a placenta accreta, precreta, and accreta. Look those words up. When that placenta grow into your uterus, to your bladder like a tree root, it's a wrap. That's an automatic hysterectomy. So when you go in these hospitals, it's only 2 ways to have a baby. That's vaginal or C-section. Doctor was doing C-sections so much on mothers. Let me calm down. They was doing C-sections on mothers so much, Jason, that now when a mother need a C-section, the doctors are hesitant, because we got to have a reason to cut you, because the government not paying for the shit no more. Because half of these mothers that coming into these hospitals, they don't have Blue Cross Blue Shield PPO. They got California aid, Florida aid. They have medical the welfare insurance.
If you are a woman who has a C-section, your ability to give birth will never be the same. The majority will not be able to go back and have vaginal births again. And if you do get pregnant, you are now high risk.
Yes, automatically off rip.
And now when they offer you the C-section, remember, when you're a Black teenage mother, they won't give you help for cancer, but they will offer to tie your tubes for free.
Man, look at no. Okay, let's talk about that.
Baby, we can go down the line.
Tie your
Abortion,
tubes.
tying your tubes, C-sections. We can go down the line of the dirty stuff they do with us.
Tying your tubes, Medicaid. It was a doctor, a white doctor, will put the hemostats on the ovaries, on the fallopian tubes to clamp them off. You can't tie your tubes. You have to, with Medicaid, you got to have a 30-day notice. Even if you have if you have a emergency C-section, that's the only way we can tie your tubes. Now, again, I am a labor and delivery nurse. I know these shits. I see a lot of stuff on Instagram, Facebook. They out here telling y'all lies about the cord blood, this and that, the placenta, all that kind of shit. These shits are lies. I done been from the hospital, from the East Coast to the West Coast to the middle of the goddamn United States. It's lies.
In the chat room, somebody said, as a minor, let me explain to you, I'm from the state of Louisiana. Now, technically speaking, you don't do that with, quote, minors, but I guarantee you, I know I was in school with them, that when them girls got pregnant, they had a saying down here. Our concern is not the first one, our concern is the second one. So their efforts were concentrated towards preventing a second birth. If she's 15 years old, the doctors are going to have a conversation with her about how she can prevent that from happening in the future. Soon as she turns 18, now she's been talked to about it before. So now they're like, oh, we've talked to you before about, having your tubes tied. You're pregnant again. Have you considered after this right here, we can tie your tubes, to stop that so these men don't keep doing this to you because they're not there for you. If they can get you to an abortion, they can get you to getting your tubes tied.
Now you're telling the damn truth, because here in St. Petersburg, Florida, we got a health department. You get your prenatal care. You can get your birth control. They at the fucking schools, Jason. On 16th Street, John Saxton on 16th Street at the middle school. They come, the health department in the middle school. And you could get an abortion without your mama knowing. Let me tell you something. When your child get pregnant, they already is a emancipated minor. Look that shit up. When you got a teenager and they pregnant, they're emancipated minor. You're no longer their parent. That's what they do to us. So with this shit with Kamala Harris and this abortion, yeah, they want us to kill our black babies. And they use the black church. If you read that book with Margaret Sanger and they're talking the Planned Parenthood, they use the black preachers. But you so dang on Christian. You Christians. But I'm telling you, I'm a L&D nurse. I was going to school to be a midwife, but I didn't pursue it because I don't like how it was going. And now, man, the shit they do on the East Coast, this shit is wishy-washy. And see, people out here fucking for sports fucking. And you have these babies, you come up in these hospitals, and you believe everything they tell you. Now, again, yeah, your body's supposed to naturally go into labor. You're supposed to this, but if your water break and you ain't had no baby, now you setting yourself up for infection. I'm not against epidurals. I'm not against C-sections. My thing is, I don't want to see you in Judge Judy court trying to say, well, you never told me this and that. Understand what you getting into. It's more than having a goddamn baby. You got to make sure when you leave that hospital, you and your baby come out alive and not going to motherfucking Smith Funeral Home. Just like that girl in Georgia, how the hell this doctor decapitated this baby? I know y'all done heard about that case in Georgia last year. It's hard on us nurses because a lot of these black nurses and white nurses, we want to tell the truth, but we can't because we scared because we still got bills to pay. But I ain't scared. That's why I'm on here telling y'all this shit, like my mama say, some of the milk ain't clean. They want us to abort our babies, and if you bypass that fucking goddamn abortion clinic, they gonna get your ass in the goddamn labor room. Preeclampsia for the black woman and the white woman is two different things. You got sickle cell, they gonna under-medicate you. These little cute little nurses, and coming up to some damn baby daddy. When it comes down to baby daddy, they always refer to black women significant others as baby daddies, but everybody else, their husband, their fiance, the father of the baby, FOB, but we get baby daddy. It's not too many B1 L&D nurses out here. I'm one of them. I'm in California because I ran my mouth and I was writing up doctors and nurses in texts about what was going on in St. Petersburg, Florida.
And then Ron DeSantis is governor, so there goes that.
Yeah.
There goes that.
Yeah. But
while folks are telling you about it at the federal level, by the way, at the state level, please keep your eyes and ears open, folks. That's what's happening there.
Do not go in these hospitals, stupid. Leave your gorilla in the parking lot. Get you somebody to protect you. If you got diabetes, do what you need to do. Because a lot of these Black women are unhealthy. They already coming in there behind the fucking goddamn 8 ball. And you just a prime fucking goddamn for death. I even thought about, when you get pregnant, get you a life insurance policy. We ain't gonna stop having babies. We're not. But get your stuff together. When you go into these labor rooms, don't be talking about Google this. Get you a Black nurse. I got to get my shit together because, baby, I'm going to save a lot of. My goal is to eradicate the death of Black women dying having our babies because we're not going to stop. But some of us hard-headed AF. We make the world go round. But if they missing us in the abortion clinic, they catching us in the labor room and we dying like we got 3 to 4 times more likely to die in labor. If you think the white woman was dying at the rate of Black women, it would have been all hell, new laws, everything. You're dying in that labor room. 2014, that was my first patient to die. And she died from an amniotic fluid embolism. Some stuff you can't prevent. But get you a Black doctor. If any of you don't have a Black doctor, if you got a white doctor, whatever, ask questions. If they're not, hearing you out, change. You have that. I don't give a damn if you're on Medicaid or you got Cigna, Blue Cross Blue Shield, PPO. Get you somebody that's going to listen to you. That's the thing. I done seen it. Even at the hospital in New York. When you see a Black nurse coming, man, them damn Black patients took their goddamn nose up at you. Oh, nigga, please, I'm finna save your damn life. Are you fucking kidding me? Excuse my French. But as soon as you see Sally and Karen, no, baby. I understand the reason why women get epidurals, what the medication, the pain, fentanyl. Yeah, we give patients fentanyl. People, fentanyl, I say, no, this ain't fentanyl on the street, this fentanyl cousin. Because there's only 2 ways to have a baby, Jason, the vagina or through the abdomen. If that baby is not going to go there, O.J. Simpson, you must have quit. My goal is to make sure you go home with a healthy baby and mama go home in 3 days after a C-section. But these doctors coming in now with all that BS. These nurses, they lagging and dragging with the going up on the Pitocin and all this kind of stuff because they don't want to get extra patients. They don't want to do this. Man, I'm telling you, it's more than meets the eye. I'm a labor and delivery nurse. I'm telling you what I see. You think this the half of it? That shit you see on TikTok? They just taking cord blood to do this and do that. Yeah, some of the shit makes sense, but some of it don't make sense. But when you come up in there and you don't know what your ass from your hole in the ground, they gonna use your ass as an experiment. Oh, you want to take home your placenta? Your ass eating placenta? I'm like, really? If they made us eat placenta, you wouldn't want that shit. The placenta is just an organ like the liver. It transfused the blood and the oxygen to the baby. It cleans it out. Why the fuck would you eat that? But I forgot, y'all licking asses. Y'all toasting salads. Y'all swapping saliva. But you won't breastfeed your baby. Now all of a sudden we having this issue with necrotizing syndrome with the babies where their intestines getting effed up because babies drinking formula. Well, we grew up off Similac. Now I got the Enfamil, ever since Enfamil and all these other formulas that came on the market, now the babies are being affected by it. But no, you were standing in line on Black Friday for some Jordans and for that TV at Walmart, but you won't sit there and breastfeed your goddamn baby. Because I got to go to school. I got to go back to work, but you got them on some fake ass Chanel. But you won't breastfeed your babies. Shame on you, Black woman. When we had to breastfeed our babies, when we couldn't go up in these hospitals and deliver our babies, and the midwives who didn't know how to read and write was delivering our babies, and then me doing my studies, these Black midwives, when they realized, wait a minute, these Black babies not dying as much as the white women going into the hospitals and with the white midwives. Well, so what these niggas got different from us? God. And we respected each other. When you giving birth, you on your deathbed. You on your deathbed. And we're not going to stop. If women stop having babies, that's the it for the goddamn on human race. That's it.
Well, they certainly are hoping to be the end for one. I did a medical program. I've done one like every year, especially since COVID happened. But this is a good reminder that I need to do another one because these are the kind of things that don't happen. You got Kamala Harris, who doesn't want any children. And then you got Oprah Winfrey, who doesn't want any. And then you got Cardi B is having children, and she cheating on her husband while she pregnant. What? So that gives you an idea what she thinks of children. These are the folks out here advocating, and the ones who do have children, talking about getting an abortion, these are the ones who are advocating. So we don't have sensible conversations about this, and you're right. We have very few medical professionals who are dealing in our interests, period, for any reason. Jewish people learned the lesson after World War II. Anybody can say anything they want to. After World War II, Jewish people went heavy into law and heavy into finance. The reason for that is because so they know if they walk into a courtroom anywhere in America, it's going to be hard to railroad them because they got railroaded and found out where it ends up at. So they're like, look here, nobody, that's not going to happen. We're overrepresented. You damn right. They're overrepresented in lawyers, judges. I say overrepresented, but that's for them, it's perfectly balanced because their idea is there's not anywhere in America they go where they're going to get railroaded for being Jewish. So they've solved that issue. Meanwhile, we got legal warfare, medical warfare, educational warfare. We in the crosshairs everywhere we go. We don't have at least in medicine, we have some Black professionals doing something. In the law, we ain't got a damn thing. In finance, we have little. In medicine, we have less than that. In law, we ain't got nothing. And take a look at the places where we're suffering the worst. 3 strikes, C-sections, abortions. Take a look at where we're suffering the worst.
Jason, these Black Africans and Caribbean people that's coming over here as nurses, I'm out here on a contract in Fresno. Like I said, I've been a nurse 17 years. Why the nurse that's them that could be my daughter or my baby sister making 37 a week and I'm making 31 from her country? We can't go to the Caribbean or Africa and make the money they make over here. See, because I tried to do dual citizenship to Jamaica because I call myself a Jamaican.
That ain't gonna work.
They come over here and they toot their fucking nose up at us. They side with these white folks, and it's a wrap. But the government, they passing that goddamn grant money like hot chips to any hospital. And COVID, man, please. They getting lots of money off the backs of dead and injured Black women and children. I had a Black nurse, my director from this last hospital in St. Petersburg, Florida, tell me, well, you know, they are. I said, who is they? Jason, I recorded an interview on my phone on WhatsApp. I still got it today. And I said, you looking just like me. Who the hell is they? You know, not in that way, because you know what I mean. But Black people, when it come down to money, we forget who the hell we are. But you forgot one day you gonna have a baby. Your son, baby mama, or wife gonna have a baby. And we got to come up in these labor rooms and all you see is white people. When you come in the labor and delivery unit, look at the pictures on the wall. Do you see yourself? When they give you that little booklet on our postpartum care, better yet, do you see us? This is shit I'm talking about. We're not represented. We're not. When they say people of color, that does not include your ass.
Is that a Black woman holding a white baby?
This one right here?
Yeah, I'm
you know, Black
women
give birth to all colors.
I say that's a Black woman holding. It looks like a white baby she holding.
No, maybe her baby daddy was mixed. I don't know.
Okay.
But you know, but this is what they put on. This is what they give the parents in the brochure. But they don't show. You know, this is what we give to our patients. It don't look like you. So I'm writing a book called Welcome to Labor and Delivery, a Black sister guide to the inner workings of the labor room. Because when we start flipping and flocking you on your nose, why are you doing that? Now you know, because we're doing intrauterine resuscitation. Like I say, when you come into them labor, yes, there's some things that we got to do. And yes, you may need a C-section. Sometimes mama's pelvis is too small and the baby don't fit. If it don't fit, you must quit. So you're going to need a C-section. But a C-section is only for medical reasons that you can't pass that baby through the vagina. Maybe the baby got a cord wrapped around his neck and having D cells and this prolonged D cells. It's certain stuff that we got to go through in $200 every time we take this class every 2 years to learn about D cells, X cells, so it's shit we got to do in this labor room. But you going now, oh, we just having a baby, shitting me. I got 2 lives in my hand, yours and that goddamn baby. And if you're not breathing, what you think your baby doing? It's not breathing because it's a parasite. It feeds off you. And that goes back, if you ain't shit, your family ain't shit, you having an ain't shit ass baby. We giving birth to shit. We got to get our shit together. I done seen, am I the daddy? Y'all do DNA tests. You mean to tell me 9 months now you come up in the labor room with that bullshit? This is shit I deal with as a labor and delivery nurse. And then you think I don't take that shit home and that shit be wrecking my mind. That's causing me PTSD as a Black woman seeing my Black sisters going through this shit. We make each other. I can't have a baby if it wasn't for the Black man. But they killing us in these labor rooms because we allowing it. I'm so thankful for the Black media, for you, Jason, Tyreek, everybody. If those who have ears, let them hear. Let's do something about this. We shouldn't be 3 to 4 times more likely to die having our babies. Oh, I forgot, because we bypassing abortion. When we can't get you an abortion, we're going to get your ass on the label. We'll kill both of y'all and blame it on something. There is no way that girl in Georgia, that doctor decapitated that damn baby. The girl asked for a C-section. The baby was too big. But I'm a legal nurse consultant as well. I'm looking at the lady and I'm like, okay, she's short. Maybe she got diabetes. Diabetes, you have big babies. You at risk for shoulder dystocia. So when they tried to put that baby head, when she was push that baby head back into the vagina, you can't push that baby head back all the way up into the uterus. So instead of her cutting her, vertical down the uterus in the abdomen. She tried to do the bikini cut and went too deep with that 10 blade and cut that damn baby head off. And then for the nurses to go along and say they wanted the lady to the hospital just and thank God that girl said no. You know how that girl found out her baby was decapitated? Because the funeral home, the black funeral home in Georgia, Marietta, told her, you know your baby head was cut off. What? Well, no wonder they never, even in, when we have fetal demises, we let the mother and father, the family bond with the baby. That baby could be black and blue and stinking. As long as you want your baby, we gonna give it to you until you tell us to take it to the morgue. So all those nurses that sat up there and that hospital should be shut down.
No, they got on code. They got on code up there, and what that tells you is they didn't just get on code that day. That is the way they operate.
Yes, man.
These folks didn't just jump up one day and all of them on the same page and all of them walking in lockstep. They are on code, and it's not just that hospital. It's everywhere. It is everywhere.
Look, everywhere. And I'm telling you, I'm a B nurse, a B1. But like I said, when my mother and father knew they was having me, and my mama and daddy was married when they conceived, and my mama divorced my daddy after the fact. But they knew that Miss Miko or Tamiko was going to be black. They didn't know if I was a boy or girl. I'm black first before I'm anything. And so I have such a hard time being who I am. And Jason, you and Tyreek and all the other, y'all don't make it no goddamn good for me because, baby, I'm surprised I'm still, the email you sent me, are you ready to give up them nursing license in so many words to say what you got to say? These hospitals full of motherfucking SHIT shit. Meconium, full of motherfucking meconium. Full of shit. They're killing us. We have to go up in these hospitals because, see, Jason, you don't do no damn surgery. I don't do no surgery. Why, if I need glasses, why the hell I'm gonna go to the gynecologist when I can't see? Right? So we need these hospitals. You need surgery. You got a gunshot goddamn wound. Why the hell you going to the goddamn podiatrist for the feet? We need these people. But I'm going to tell you something. People out here, because we got bills to pay, and they just going through the motions. I'm sitting right here in the extended stay because I was fired from my job for running my damn mouth. That lawyer told me, he said, well, if the doctor was that bad, why you ain't turn him into the board? And I said, I didn't know I can do that. So the next time, that's what I'll be doing. I'm going to turn your ass in just like you turn me in.
To the extent that it helps, because who runs the board? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
It's just there like with lawyers. You can go to the bar for the lawyers, but who runs the bar? Lawyers. So good. That's like going to the police board. We're going to go to the police board, but who's running that? Oh, it's a bunch of cops. So good luck on that one.
A lot of people don't know is with the board with the lawyers used to go to school and get their license. But when black people start going to be attorneys, that's why they got that exam. That was to weed niggas out.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of people don't understand that from South Carolina, North Carolina. Yeah, they used to go to school for free. I was at here in Moreno Valley yeah.
I mean, the bar exam is a more recent advent, and even in the places like California that don't necessarily require, they tell you have an alternative route. Well, you can. Kim Kardashian has taken it, but the alternative route is basically interning at a law firm. So good luck on that one. Good luck on that one. So you can avoid it. Actually, you can't. Actually, you can't.
The bottom line is, as a black person, you always got to stand on business, whether you a teacher, a preacher, a nurse, a doctor, you always black first. I don't give a damn if your husband is a white man or your wife is a white woman. Nigga, you still black first. If they can't get us out, they're gonna breed us out. Y'all better look at Diana Ross and Quincy Jones family. Man, and Grace Jones. DNA, Dana don't lie. If these people can't kill us in the labor room and in the abortion clinic, they're gonna send our white man or that white woman to breed out our DNA. Yeah, Evan Ross from the movie with T.I. He done married your girl sister, but look at them damn babies. They don't even look like Diana Ross. I'm coming out. Y'all think because we black and we got the dominant genes. My uncle was an avid man of pit bulls. You want a red-nosed pit? Why the hell are you going to breed him with a cocker spaniel? You're going to get another pit bull with a red nose to try to get that damn genetics. I don't know why black people so goddamn stupid. Why are we stuck on stupid? I'm tired of being a masculine female. I'm tired of hearing Jason talking about black women and this person talking about this, that. I want to be soft and lovely and fluffy and let my man take care of me. But hell, this world teaching me that I got to be who the hell I am. I'm tired of that. I want to sit around and be a goddamn sissy. Shit, a sissy more goddamn feminine than me. Literally. My goddamn gay uncle more woman than me, and he got a penis, and I got a vagina, and I gave birth to a baby. Well, I'm tired of being hard. Black men, y'all got to step up.
Just hosted a summit for them, so
man,
a whole summit for them.
Jason.
Well, like I say, I may have to do something in that regard, Miko. So that's the kind of thing I would like to have something where I have more time to go in depth and not.
You said that the last time, Jason. It's time. It's time.
Yeah, like I say, I mean, definitely, I'm gonna have to make a priority of that because
yes.
You know, it's nobody thinks about those kind of things until something happens, and the issue is something always happens. So
yeah,
you know, and that's really what catches us unaware. So it really needs to have its own time for it. Give me a minute, I'll see what I can do. I'll see what I can do. Okay,
because you know, I'm gonna tell the truth. You can use me. I'll do my research. I might have
something. I might have something specific in mind. So, give me a little bit. I'll see what I can do about that.
All right.
Thank you for checking with me, Miko. Appreciate that. Yeah, like I say, you know, that's what we're up against here. We have all these industries and stuff, and the real danger of not being in control of your economy is everything has to be paid for. Your schools got to be paid for. Your hospitals have to be paid for. Your courts have to be paid for. That's why we're saying cut the check. These things got to be paid for. But even if they're paid for, you got to be on code. These other folks out here, their kids grow up, they tell them, you going to law school. You're going to medical school. We sitting over here asking our kids, what you want to be? I want to get my rap career. I want to be an Instagram model. I want to be a YouTuber. These other people have learned to use the economy strategically, childbirth strategically. They're not just having kids, they're having the folk who are going to run the society. We're the people who are most in jeopardy, most oppressed. We should be the most on code and the most strategic and the most militant and the most disciplined. And this is the cost of not having that. It is warfare. We are the only people that you can name that when you add all these things together, abortion plus medical apartheid, people, our population numbers should be 4 times what they currently are. What? When you think about that for a moment, our population numbers from abortion, it should be twice as much as it is. From all these other things, medical malpractice and medical warfare, our numbers should be 4 times what they are. When you think about that for a moment, when you go over these numbers, we should be 4 times our current population. That's just how seriously drilled down on us they are. And nobody is going to whoop our behinds to make us take it more seriously. They're at war. Every dead body, they like, okay, we buying more time to breed you out. And yeah, it really is that serious. So I'm going to have to do something for that. I'm going to have to do something for that in particular. I kind of got a couple of ideas already that are going on and circulating here, so I may have to see what I can do about that. May have to see what I can do about that. If I do it, though, I want to do those kind of things right. That's kind of important to me. Don't just do things because you're available. Do it because you can do it right. We're going to go ahead and wrap things up here tonight. I've already got the folks who I'm going to have joining me for the live broadcast here on Tuesday. So Tuesday, there's going to be some of y'all who are going to be part of the audience. So that'll be interesting to see how that goes. So definitely thank you to everyone who inquired about it. I've got the folk I want for it here, the people who responded for it here. We got them for that. So be looking for that next. That's coming up here. If you are new here to the Black Channel, welcome to the Haven of Intelligent Black Thought. We do this every weekend, holidays, some days in between. Click that red subscribe button, that yellow notification bell, and join us each and every time that we are here. If you haven't been to our website, blackchannelfilms.com, check out our groundbreaking best-selling documentary work, 7 a.m., 8 a.m., Gentrified Race War. 8 a.m. coming soon. Got some more coming on that too as well. Got something special in mind. So definitely you're going to enjoy that too, I imagine. Folks love New York. They love D.C. Whole lot of surprises in store. Maybe I'm not done surprising you just yet. Maybe I got something else. I want to thank everyone who has contributed to support tonight's program on PayPal, Super Chat, Venmo. Thank you to all of you for tuning in, live or recorded. Thank you for liking, subscribing, and sharing. And this concludes tonight's broadcast of the Black Channel. I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, the Black Authority. And until next time, all of my brothers and all of my sisters from around the world, remember, Black is the future, and the future is all we got.